Hi, everyone. Welcome to Bad Science Sunday, where we take a comedic approach to debunking bad science. And today we're doing bad political science with
Oh no.
Jillian.
Maya has been refusing to tell me what we're gonna watch, so this is gonna be fun, guys.
Uh,
This might actually be the stream where I rage quit myself.
honestly, this is not going to be a pleasant one. Um, Political science, social science, and yet none of it is physics, and I still feel like I'm going to have to answer a lot of hard questions.
Yeah, so Dr. Tapioca Weasel gets to be our resident cishet white guy who has to answer for the whole of all mankind.
They're not
Okay.
all white, are they? No, they're not all white.
No, but you have to answer for the ills of all cishet white men.
Fair.
You know, the patriarchy. Down with it.
It works out pretty well for me. Just saying.
Jillian, would you like to tell everybody who you are?
Hi, my name is Gillian. I am not a scientist. I was actually an English major in college, so but I am a film writer for a site called Media Magpies. I am raising two often wonderful kids, and I have been a member of the wider YouTube science community for a couple of years now.
Totally
So-
heard that as whiter. Just saying.
I mean, I am fairly pasty, so
So Jillian said she wanted to do pseudopsychology, and my major was behavioral psychology. Um, so politics, I mean, it is really right up my alley because certainly propaganda is. But I also wanted to do politics because I fucking love talking politics with Jillian. And again, it's not going to be one of those crazy politics streams, so everybody don't go running out just yet.
Yeah.
It's going to be.
It's
talking-
more social politics than
Yeah.
than like proper politics. Well, okay, I shouldn't say that, but
we're like all the topics that you're not supposed to bring up at dinner, we're going right through. We're going all the way into it. And we haven't told Jillian what we're doing yet. Jillian hasn't seen the video. I was afraid it was going to scare her off.
like, is it ethical to do this to our guests?
Yes.
I mean, has it stopped you before?
No, but I'm a physicist. Ethics does not come into the picture. Okay, the last time it came into the picture, 1945, didn't do a great job.
No, that's true. But my mug
That is very
years ago.
But since this isn't a proper psychological study, the gloves are off.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Oh, you know what? And I think I keep doing this.
But by the way, we should also. Gillian has a site and a thing. It's awesome.
Oh, you know what?
It's MediaMagpies.com. It's beautiful.
Hold up.
So you should go and check out the thing.
Here we go.
They're all by me. So
yeah, Gillian, Gillian was supposed to like shill herself during her "Hey, who are you?" But what is all this?
That is the website I write for.
Clearly. Fantastic.
You're so great.
Yeah, you guys just
yourself.
went live like last month.
Yeah, we've been.
What is this? What do you do?
I used to write for a site called The Salute. I'm getting echo.
I'm not.
I am not. What did you do?
Do you have the YouTube thing live on a different tab?
I don't have YouTube up at all.
That's all I got.
Well,
yeah, because I'm not getting an echo, Doc.
At all, yeah. No.
If it's just me, then I'll be fine.
Are you sure?
Hey,
yeah.
Echoes are really annoying.
I know. I was like, I actually. I
Yeah.
refuse to stream with an echo. I'm like, no, nothing happens until that stops.
Well, I'm only getting echo on my
Okay.
own voice.
I'm
Weird.
No, I'm still echoing in my voice, and now I just don't hear Tap. So
She's saying
well,
that,
yeah. Well, that
yeah, it's
wasn't.
just her
Yeah.
voice. So there's something going on her side.
it's on my computer. I'll poke around things.
Maya, this is
Uh,
installing spyware. I told you like 5 times.
yeah, I know that's on
Oh,
me. I'm afraid
yeah.
your
Look,
father is going to be very
Spooky's
bored.
got a great idea there. It's
Hmm?
just all blend
I
off.
resemble that remark.
Indeed.
Yes. Um, but yeah, I have 5 recurring columns on Media Magpies. I've got Celebrating the Living, which is writing about people who are in pop culture in some way who are at least um, no more than 5 years younger than I am, because I'm 48 and I think that is a nice range of people that I can talk about without feeling like I'm writing about children. Um, and then the next one over is Attention Must Be Paid, which is people who've been dead for at least 5 years. And the next one over there is Disney Byways, which is just weird Disney stuff. Movie Gifts is an annual thing that we have going that's not one of my regulars. But I also have one called Intrusive Thoughts, right there, which is whatever pop culture stuff I feel like writing about. And then I have one monthly called Camera Obscura, which is under miscellaneous usually, which is comparing a really obscure book and a really obscure movie based on it. I've finally got all of the back ones uploaded today, including my uh, analysis of Mazes and Monsters.
Did you change
The
your mic? Because you're kind of going in and out for me now. You
I
look
don't
Yeah.
know.
fine.
I have not touched my mic, but it could be my um, computer is trying to use the mic on my
I'm also
camera.
starting to hear some of what you were talking about with the echo,
Hmm.
Yeah,
like through your
Yeah, it
thing.
sounds
yeah,
like you're
it's
trying to
trying
come
to use my
through
camera.
like a computer and
Yeah,
through a mic and something else.
it's trying to use my mic on my camera instead of my actual microphone. So that might be
Uh,
part of the problem. I'm fiddling with things.
Hello, pragmatic. I'm glad to see you, even if you can't stay long.
all right, well, let's tell Jillian what we're doing today
Okay,
while she's
so
trying to figure that out.
Hmm.
right, we are watching a video, and so this channel and like the comment section, they actually seem like pretty all right. It was my sense. Um,
So, yeah, this is Jubilee, and they've been getting a lot of shit lately, but, um, you know,
the title of the video is "Do Women Really Have It Harder? Male feminists versus male anti-feminists." It's
Oh,
it's
just
all
people
it's
that
all
say what
guys.
they care
It's
about.
a sausage fest in here, and they're going to be talking about feminism all the live long day, because
mm,
that is apparently the middle ground. Is
hmm,
Oh boy.
yeah,
men
yeah.
talking about women's, you know.
Well, how are we supposed to know what to think if there's not a man around to tell us?
No, it's true.
I'm
It's true.
like, sometimes I want to lean into the joke, but I don't want to get shot. So
Yeah, I
anyway,
can't. I can't promise that that won't happen. Like, don't
yeah,
even.
yeah. So Jubilee,
That was actually a great answer.
they have 9.62 million subscribers, um, and this video from 2 years ago has 6.4 million views. And I will say though, legitimately, I'm pretty on board with most of the people in the comments, which is a very rare thing to say.
So you were saying, what were you saying about the comments? There was a comment you liked.
Uh, I mean, there's a few. So, well, the one that I was going to mention was that when they said the fact that no one stepped forward and agreed with women are exaggerating period pains made me feel slightly better because they're just as fed up with this shit as all of us are. Well, I
Yeah,
mean,
I that one surprised me too. You'll see it.
and
Um,
then the next one, Nick Pinky Girl. Watching this as a woman is wild. I can only imagine.
yeah,
Um,
yeah.
yeah,
You know where you are, folks. So there's going to
yeah,
be
yeah.
yeah,
It's gonna be
it's going to
rough.
be one. So
It,
Mark, right-handed Sis Smith, for $5 said, Jillian, if you really want to make it worse, get Dapper to fix it.
that is my understanding.
Okay, yeah,
Wow.
no, that is not the setting.
Yeah. So, the premise of this is that they get, I think it's
Oh,
four
you
or
know what?
five.
If you're in EV Bucks, like if you go to the settings, like are you in the settings? You should be able to just click on it in here to have a primary mic instead of
There's also an echo cancellation feature.
yeah.
I don't know.
Oh wait, is there audio? Yeah, echo cancellation. I have that on. Guys, how's my audio?
How's my audio?
Okay, can you hear me?
Oh, that's better. I mean,
Okay.
Yeah.
it's yeah, better. All right, let's go.
All right, let's do this.
The only thing that I could think that justifies being a feminist today is you must just want to get laid. There's no reason to believe in all of these crazy things that seek to strip you of your masculinity, perpetuate these terrible ideas that men are evil and all of these things. That has to be the reason.
All right. Um, Jillian, you want to give us a feminism definition just off the top of your head?
The belief that men and women should be equal.
Yeah, I believe that the sexes are equal. Um, oh, did we lose her?
I,
Can you hear me?
We can hear
yep.
you.
Okay, I'm just checking to see if it's the problem is my camera.
No, you're fine, actually. Now you're back to the original audio issue that you had.
Okay, yeah, no, I'm still getting the echo, so that's not the
Oh,
problem.
you are getting that. Okay.
Yeah.
For $6.66, my unfinished journey says, Hail Nero, hail the goddess of tapioca weasels, and hail Jillian, rock candy mammoth written. Is that what you are now? Rock candy mammoth?
That's that's what I am. It's a Kent Hovind reference.
That is awesome. Today I'm the patron saint of woke bitches.
I will say, I identify as a feminist. It's not, I don't go out like always, putting every label that I identify as out there,
Who possibly
just like
can?
most people don't. Um, and I'm not doing it because I want to get laid. Okay, if I was, it's not working. I haven't gotten laid in more than 2 years. So yeah,
You don't have to tell people that.
I
You can
have
blow.
persona to uphold, Maya.
You can blow past the intro music though.
Okay.
Step forward if you agree with the prompt. Women have it easier than they think they do.
So yeah, question, white man.
Hmm.
Before they answer, what do you think?
Wow, is that how we're going? Okay. No. Okay. Categorically, literally categorically, no. Obviously, there's always going to be individuals. That's not the point of this question, though. So, no is the answer.
Oh,
Women
and
have way more difficulties than men realize. Like,
I mean, if you're looking, but
well,
I
yeah,
guess,
but we're never looking, Maya.
and there's that, and I think that we're gonna see a lot of red state rhetoric coming from these
Hmm.
people. So we'll call it out. I will, while we are walking around with computers in our pocket, I'm less likely to give leeway to people today than I was, a while ago. I will say that I have noticed that red state Dems are particularly bad. And it's hard to study fucking everything, right?
Mhm.
And so I give a little bit of leeway to people who aren't really engaged in politics. But if you're going to be mad about something, I mean, if you're genuinely just going to be irate that something is happening, I think you have the obligation to look into it before you go off half cocked, just like, women have it easy. It's just me. Jillian, would you like to weigh in before we start?
I mean, I had to tell a male friend the other day that women aren't really interested in hearing his defense of a friend of his says he's actually a good guy
Mm-hmm.
because we saw his friend talking over us and did not want to put up with that nonsense from him. And my friend was like, "Oh, that's actually a good point." So I think it's hard for a lot of guys, even when they're trying, to see a lot of what a lot of women are experiencing. So when you aren't trying, which a lot of these guys aren't, then of course it looks like women have it easier than they think they do.
All right, let's see what they have to say.
With feminism, it's kind of brainwashed women.
I kind of want to find it interesting that the anti-feminists, only two of them actually agreed with that.
Yeah.
That's like, which is already kind of telling.
To think that they are victims in 99% of cases, and all the disenfranchisement that they would claim in like colleges and careers. A lot of these careers are way easier to get into for women than they are for men because they're looking to hire women because of feminism.
Yeah, like in
Wow.
divorce and stuff.
I am a physicist. That is not true. There is it is true that all other things being equal, a woman will be accepted over a man because they had to get over more hurdles to get there. Women in physics spent their entire lives having to get over this implicit thing that most people don't even want to acknowledge they have, that, oh, you're a girl and you're interested in science, their fifth grade teacher said with a tone of surprise. Nobody ever looked at me with a tone of surprise because I like science. Ever. Those things tally up. Those things perpetuate. By the time you have somebody applying to graduate school, if they have the same grades, the same everything as me, they are the better pick.
Well, I mean, I'm bad at math because I'm a woman, so.
God! What am I supposed to do with this?
You're supposed to listen to another woman who has given us $2 to say physics gives us magnets and magnets are evil.
Yes! Wait, hold on. Nature gave us magnets, okay?
I love like the point of cognitive dissonance, and then there's just like, hold on.
They get more property, the kids' rights, all that.
Yeah.
But more so, I think that from the jump actually have it easier. Like
yeah.
I hate him
men
so
need to be
much.
a provider.
Me too.
Oh my god.
So,
Like, I'd love to know. I'm like, where are you getting this from? Like, holy shit.
after divorce,
Women just walk into businesses and get the job, just like, hey, I have tits. Oh my God, where have you been? Get in that desk, Missy.
Women are still worse off in divorce cases after divorce in this country.
Yeah.
And if a man asks for custody, he's more likely to get it. But they don't ask, so women are more likely to get it.
I mean, they are because we're gonna get into the gender pay gaps. I don't know. And every state's a little different. There's some red states that are still a little backward and think that child rearing is women's places. But actually, if you get into more blue states, the rule of thumb generally, and this I remember this from social psychology, is whatever parent has the most money, that is who the kids should go with, all things being equal, and it should be supplemented by the parent who makes less money, because that gives the children the most money, or i.e., the most resources to be successful.
Yeah.
Maya, your camera seems to be frozen, by the way.
God fucking damn. All right, I'm gonna restart, and you guys talk amongst yourselves or play the video.
I'm gonna play the video. I mean, so far we only have 2 people talking.
But more so, I think that from the jump, actually have
this is
it
gonna be
easier.
bad.
Like,
Yeah.
men need to be a provider. They're taught to be tough. Oh, why are you crying? Don't be a girl. But when a girl is crying or a girl is upset or anything that happens, usually there's like they're a princess and they're given the world.
Well, yeah, because
you mean toxic masculinity?
Yes, that's exactly what it means.
Toxic
But he won't say that.
Toxic masculinity does, in fact, harm both sexes, absolutely.
It harms everyone.
But, like, the point he's making is, like, not actually in his fit. Because if you're saying, oh, yeah, you shouldn't expect men, like, that's... The people who agree with you are the people who cause that problem.
Yeah. Like, we teach my son that it's okay to cry.
Yeah.
He needs to be able to deal with his feelings in a healthy and productive manner, but sometimes that's crying.
Yeah. And it's legitimately been a topic that I've brought up with my therapist, like the proper healthy versions of masculinity, because there's been such a dearth of them for such a long time, and it makes it's kind of like there aren't that many like great role models or ideas or clarity for so many people about what healthy masculinity is.
Yeah, I mean, in Gillian in my day, it was like what Rambo, Tom Cruise, Arnold Schwarzenegger.
It's getting better, yeah.
Bill Cosby.
Oh
my
Eddie
God.
Murphy and Raw, and yeah.
Yeah, well, now we have, Walter... Wait, no, that Walter White is getting better. Damn it.
Stallone Schwarzenegger.
Walter White is, like, less... maybe you would disagree with this. He's less overtly, like, toxically masculine as he is just toxically narcissistic, but maybe I only think that because I'm a dude. I don't know.
Well, and I will say the fan base has some toxic masculinity problems. See also how much they hate,
Skylar?
who maybe doesn't want her husband to be a meth dealer.
Yeah, no, you're right. Like, Skylar, they had to lean into that. That wasn't the original aim for her character. They realized that everybody hated this character for some reason because she was a woman who actually, like, asserted herself and didn't just take shit lying down, I guess.
Yeah.
We call them bitches.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But for $2, you hooligan says, beware of weasel.
We are a proud people.
With women, they're born with their value. They innately have value. They can create life, and they're extremely valuable from birth. For men, it's not really the same way. You have to make something of yourself to be respected.
Exactly. Like a pretty woman can go far just using her face. A man.
I'm more valuable than both
Oh my
my
God.
sisters because
Man, I had no
I have
idea you
kids.
had to work so much harder than us to be seen as people.
Well, it also means neither of my sisters are people because I'm the only one of the three of us who has kids.
Oh, and there's that. Yeah. Yeah.
So,
Do they even exist?
no.
Value. They can create
Right.
life and they're extremely valuable from birth. For men,
Right.
it's not really the same way. You have to make something of yourself to be respected.
They're extremely valuable from birth. This is exactly why in a lot of cultures there is famously a way higher percentage of women than men because they always kill off the sons that are born because they're not. Wait, no, that's backwards shit.
Mm-hmm.
That is backwards shit.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
Getting this
Exactly.
out of the way real quick. Left-handed Jedi does say friendship is magic, magic is heresy. For the Emperor, for 40K
40K.
reference.
40K, Warhammer.
Yeah, Warhammer.
Warhammer 40K.
Uh-huh.
It's a game.
Have you ever heard the story of Grendel? It's an
Okay.
amazing
God's
story.
sake.
Anyway.
Yeah, we have an hour-long
pretty
video
woman.
to get through, but I would love to hear this
Yeah,
on a day that's
Maya.
not today.
There is literally zero chance that we are getting through this entire video.
I never said we were getting through the entire video. I'm just saying maybe we don't have like time for fun segues like this.
Satan?
Yes, Joanne.
Jimmy Carter died.
The Jimmy Carter. What the hell is he doing down here?
Oh, he's not. I just thought you should know.
Okay, I was gonna say. It's probably God telling me the news. Hello.
Hi, did you hear the
I
news?
sure did. He finally kicked it, huh?
Oh no, he found the Reaper himself and he said, I want out of this bitch expeditiously. And the Reaper was like, are you sure? Because you still have like 15 years left. And he was like, I know what 2025 has in store. And it's bird flu and tangerine Hitler. I'm Audi 5000.
Was that a direct quote?
Yeah, can you believe it? Anyway, I set him up with a cute little peanut farm. But anyway, what's up with you?
Oh, just the CEO of United Healthcare making a fuss down here, trying to demand a meeting with me, but I said, honey, my compassion is out of network, but I am sending you thoughts and copays.
Well, personally, I'll be holding space for his prior authorizations and deductibles.
Yeah, he was totally getting his ass beat down here, and we definitely don't take his insurance. He said that's unfair, and I said, well, that sounds like a you problem, which I'm pretty sure is the slogan for United Healthcare. Well, Jesus is currently sporting a Free Luigi crop top, so it's safe to say we definitely got him covered.
Yeah, so no more of that.
Okay.
Can go far just using her face. A man can't do that.
By the way, we skipped over that whole bit.
A man can't go to a rich businessman or like a
right.
businesswoman and be like, I'm good looking, let me come to your yacht.
Right.
A woman can.
They absolutely can.
What?
There are absolutely men who can get by on their looks. His point is that there aren't men who can get by on their looks. That's
I'm
his
just
point.
like still okay. I was just like, who are
Sorry.
these women that are just walking around like, hey, I just got lost and I saw you here in your big ass boat, which made me think of your penis. Can I come up?
The only one that I can sort of think of maybe would be Elizabeth Holmes, and she famously faked a lower voice so that she would sound more masculine.
Yeah.
I mean, and yeah, there are definitely men that get by on their good looks. So
Yeah. Tom
maybe
Cruise.
he is probably not one of those men. I could, but
Right.
Let's bring the disagreeers forward.
For the record, like, again, two of the people on your side
are like, oh no.
I have a quick question. Just a second ago, you were saying that
okay, so they are being labeled. So this is Quentin, and he's a feminist. And
Quentin is like the
they're not
feminist.
they're not like I did not watch the whole video, but I watched a fair amount. The feminists definitely like say,
They
stuff that are,
they dogpile the anti-feminists. Like,
but yeah, they're doing
point.
God's work.
I'm saying though, no, and you guys are gonna see. I mean, I'm gonna try to skip over a lot of what the feminists say because it's a lot of shit that we're gonna say. But like, I can't tell you how much it warms my heart to hear like a lot of the shit they're saying come out of men's mouths, because like this is what we need, and this is what I keep telling, like this is like, you know, what I've been saying to Vandy and Mark Reed and like a lot of you. It's like when I say it, it holds no weight. It's just like, oh, you know, this is just a girl that wants to get over, you know, and it's always coming from this perspective of like a zero sum game.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
When men do it, it's just like, wait, you have a penis and you believe this shit? You know, it holds more weight. Like we need more men like this. Like in
Yeah.
like if you are a man and you're in my chat, and if you it's my chat, you're most likely to be a man. Like do this. Do this is what we're talking about. Be this guy. Also, DC, yes, sadly, there are no actors here. Like these are all American
Probably.
men. No, there's no actors here. Just
Pretty
saw
woman
this.
could go on to a rich man's yacht, and that would be kind of her ticket on, right? Okay, so did that help women vote at all, being pretty?
But what does that have to do?
Hello.
I'm just asking, because I mean, when we're talking about women's lives being better than they think they are, would you rather be pretty and be able to get on a yacht, or have your liberties?
What are we living in, like 1950s or 2022? They
Women
already
had
have the right to vote.
Great
for a long
question.
Yeah, and who and if you were back then, on which side of that debate would you be on? Because you might give an answer, but we
Yeah.
all know what the actual answer would be.
Well, we all know that really women should let their men vote for them, because how else
Right.
will their needs get met?
I mean, the thing is, like, he's saying 1950, and I'm sure he means like 1910 or some point in time when like we didn't have the ability to vote, which is what he was talking about there.
Yeah.
Al did do a bingo.
Al did do. Oh, I'm sorry. Al did do a bingo. It is pinned. Al is manning the bingo today, so you can play bingo. Words are being called this week. Al's staying up and losing sleep just for you. So we
You're doing
apologize
that work, Al.
profusely about last week.
Yeah, that was
Okay, yeah, but wait, what were we just talking about? Oh, right.
Voting.
So voting. In case it's, and again, when I was saying earlier about, you know, people like the anti-feminists who are not paying attention to the news, I understand that people like Gillian and I probably pay more attention to the news than the average American, but they are legit trying to take away our voting rights. They want it to be
yeah,
a household one vote. And so when he's like, are we in 1950 or 1922? Women in 1950 had less risk of losing their voting rights than we
It's true.
do right now in 2025. I'm just
I've been going back over the Constitution with Vandalia for his channel, and we have not gotten to that amendment yet, but oh, I will have words. So many words.
Your liberties.
What are we living in, like 1950s or 2022? They
Women
already
had
have
the
the right to vote.
for a long time.
I think something you specifically said shows to me why women don't have.
it's very weird seeing somebody, a white guy named Tucker, be a feminist. Very weird. But Tucker's pretty all right, I think.
Tucker's,
God,
trying to bring it up.
Oh,
I know he's trying to like, you know, bring one for the team. It's like not all Tuckers.
Have it easier.
Yeah.
I think it was you who said, women already have their value. Their value is already obvious because they can have children.
That I think he's about to elucidate. That is such a fucked up thing to say. That
Wow.
is so, and I think he's putting his finger on that.
You specifically said shows to me why women don't have it easier. I think it was you who said, women already have their value. Their value is already obvious because they can have children. I don't want to put you into the box, but there are large amounts of men. Women are people that have children and then they raise the child and they be quiet.
And I think
That is a problem.
No. I think
That is a
what
problem.
was really evident to me.
I feel like he didn't quite carry it over the line as elegantly as he started the thought, but
yeah.
the whole thought fundamentally completely reduces women to their wombs.
To birthing
Yes, indeed.
machines.
Oh, incidentally,
know.
Lieutenant Jedi, 1974 is when women got the right to hold credit cards in their own names in all 50 states.
Jesus
Which, for the record,
Christ.
is the year my older sister was born.
Me, when both of y'all came up and talked, was how indoctrinated into the patriarchy you are, right? You both come up and say, as men, we have to prove something. And those expectations that you put on yourself is a direct result of patriarchy and the systems that feminism is.
The thing that you're complaining about making men's life harder is the fucking patriarchy.
But you see those anti-feminists rolling their eyes at the word patriarchy because, God forbid, they have to admit it exists.
Yeah, we can't, because the patriarchy mean man bad. White man bad. So there can't be toxic masculinity. There can't be a patriarchy. There can't be, any, Go ahead.
Do you know how much time I spent worrying about getting lambasted or canceled, I guess would be the modern lingo, for being a sexist asshole? Very little. And it's almost exactly the same amount of time that I spend worrying that I said something that was actually kind of fucked up and sexist. Because I'm not perfect. Okay? But, like, it's not that hard. It really is not that hard to just not be a dick and not be a fucking misogynist.
It really isn't. I mean, like, I'm not telling men to shut up and sit down, but if you could do that long enough for us to get a word in edgewise, like we're just asking for you to listen to us, give us a seat at the table. Like it doesn't, and it's not a zero sum game. I'm not talking about you, Vandy. I told Randy. I told Vandy that he has to be our resident white guy today. He has to speak for all of the men's out there.
What I said to some of my film friends a while back when we were talking about how many movies are telling cishet white guy stories is it's not that we don't want movies exploring cishet white experience. It's that we've heard those stories a lot, all of our lives, and maybe we could share some attention with not cishet white guys. Because it turns out there are more not cishet white guys than there are cishet white guys.
There are, but
that's
there's
math.
so
I'm good enough at math to know that.
I mean, but there are just so many of them.
Yeah.
Oh God, we'll talk about propaganda in a little bit.
Is trying to dismantle.
As are the values that women have that when they were born that you're talking about. Women did not create those.
Right.
Men did.
Those are God ordained.
Men did.
Men and women are both equal.
I love
under
him so
God.
much.
Yeah. Value as human.
Oh, yeah, well, now we're bringing God into it.
Human beings. In Genesis, you have a creation of both men and women that are made in God's
We're
image.
not
So I'm an atheist. Maya is not.
I'm not.
And Gillian is emphatically not. So I'm probably
Gillian is very emphatically not an atheist.
Oh, I'm sorry. Gillian, did you want a self-ID? You don't have to use pagan. All right. We stand pagans here. But yeah, holy shit. And I'm not, we have some Christians in the chat. I'm not anti-Christian. We do have some anti-Christians or anti-theists in the chat. I'm not an atheist, so I have to be anti-theist. But I love everyone who likes books, right? There's a few myself that, I love that have no basis in reality. And so I tried not to go to my congressman and force them to make laws that other people should abide by based on the books I like.
Look, I was gonna say that I don't expect everyone to follow the Discworld and realize that you could honestly do a lot better following Terry Pratchett for your morality and ethics than most of the Bible. So,
Yeah, I want a world where you are free to practice your Bible, and my Muslim friends are free to practice theirs, and my Jewish friends are free to practice theirs, and my pagan friends are free to practice theirs, without being hindered in any way, shape, or form. I don't
I
and
feel
a
within
world
reason.
where atheists are free to come here every Sunday and worship and commune and worship me. That could be illegal in a theocracy, and
Wait, hold on,
God is
Maya.
forbid.
I just realized the
Your
fact that
sis-
I identify as an atheist.
Mhm. Worship
Does
me.
that mean you're going to send me to hell?
No, there's no such thing as hell. You're already here.
so
Oh, that's
so I'm
fair.
thinking that there might be something on some piece of paper or another that we have that says you can worship who you want. Something amendment. I'm forgetting what it
Oh, I think it
is.
might be the very first one.
I
I
can't count
think
that
it
high.
is.
God.
Uh, I,
Freedom of religion. Who knew? Nobody tell Jay Bundy that.
Certainly, no one in this panel spent over an hour talking to Vandalia about the First Amendment last week. No one would do that.
Now we're just about the First Amendment. God.
Just about the First Amendment. So it turns out when we're doing pre-record, we kind of go on a bit.
Okay. Gotcha.
Bible and like some feminist talk.
Hold on,
Like,
but so
I mean, we can.
we're operating in a country where there's a separation of church and state. You cannot use religion as
agree with
a
that.
The Bible
motivation
also
to
doesn't
make
tell women
legislation. If I hear one more person use religion as a reason
Tucker's
to
gonna
not
cut
give rights
somebody,
to
man.
people, I'm probably gonna fucking explode. People using their own personal ideologies as an excuse to implement legislation over other people's lives are
absolute unit.
simply just not okay with the fact that they can't control everything around them.
Back to the prompt. I mean, I don't
Okay,
think
okay,
that
hold
women
on.
have
And
it
I love
easier.
that.
So, like, absolutely, people should not claim to be feminist just to get dates. But I'm kind of hot for Tucker right now.
No, yeah, I was watching this and I was like, ladies, can we all just agree to throw them some? Like, if you meet any of the feminists on here, it's just like, you know what? I saw you in Jubilee. I felt it was like like, I don't
Please,
know,
it's been
just
6 years. That number's just going to keep getting bigger as the show goes on.
By the end of the stream, it's going to be longer than he's actually been alive.
right.
Which, for the record, is 33. So keep that in mind.
Yes, I know. I remember.
I think they do. And I think to just make blanket statements like women in society think they have it easy or men in society have it harder or whatever you want to say, I just think it's kind of naive. Sure, maybe some women think they have it easier, but that might not be because they're a woman. It might just be because of their own set of life challenges and vice versa.
Yeah, and I agree. And one of the reasons that I am so passionately anti-feminist is because I believe that feminism pits men against women. Men and women.
It does not. It literally does not. It is like the whole goal is to bring women up to the status of men so that we can all play equally. And I hate this goddamn zero-sum shit. It is always weak men who are struggling to survive. And it's just like, oh no, I don't want to have another person to compete with. So keep those bitches down.
Yeah.
Oh
The-
my
Come
God.
over to the feminist side. We'll all bake cookies together.
And you can, find a bitch that can hold a job, and you can be the man candy at home that watches the kids. I have friends that do that because the woman makes more than the man, and daycare is fucking ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just,
Yo.
the man could go to work and work for daycare so that like somebody else can raise his kids, or he could just stay home with them, and same difference.
My firstborn, who I gave up for adoption, had a stay-at-home dad.
Nice.
So And I always thought that was great, and he had a really great relationship with his dad. So
Yeah, I mean, and that's what that'll do. I think men miss so many milestones being told, like, you know, child rearing is women's work. Like seeing your child, man, I had a dad just take the whole week off, the week that his daughter turned 1 years old. His
oh,
Oh, that's awesome.
firstborn, only, yeah, only child.
I thought you were gonna say when he was born, and I was like, only a week? That's
No,
horrifying.
no. Yeah, I wasn't working at this company this time last year, but like she turned a year, and he came back, and I'm like, "Oh, hey, how'd the birthday go?" And he's like, "Oh my God, I got to show you." And I was like, "Oh, whoa, I didn't know that's what I was asking." But
My that's on you.
I expect that from women, right? So
Well,
I
okay,
see
see
where we're,
right here, this is
yeah, I
toxic
know. But can I finish
masculinity.
my goddamn story?
No, I'm the man. Okay, I'll stop.
All right. So, Jillian, I'm not sure if you are familiar with how this goes.
I am.
Yeah, no, I mean, he's just scrolling a good 5 minutes. And I don't know if you know how long 5 minutes is, like when it's just like,
Someone else's
oh,
kids.
yeah. Yeah. It's just like, and that's your mom holding the baby. Okay.
Yeah. Well, okay. Especially when it's someone else's kids that you don't know. You've never met
Right.
this child.
No idea. I mean, I'm taking it at his word that that's his mom. Um, but like, what I loved about, like, he's just gushing over this little girl, and his wife is a stay-at-home mom, but like he wants to go home early, and he's talking about like this week that is coming
Yeah.
up that they've been planning. Like he was talking about it for the entire month of December. You like everybody knew, and like this, like toxic masculinity is telling a man that that is what women do.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Yeah.
to take that joy away from him and say it belongs to women is
Mm-hmm.
fucking disgusting.
It's so sad. It's so sad for both the parent and the kid.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I see a lot. I see a lot of the other parents when I'm doing parenting stuff, school stuff with my kids, and I do most of it mostly because of my partner's schedule. He's on swing shift,
Hmm.
so he misses after school stuff because he's at work. But there are several dads of my daughter's friends who I will always sit and chat with because I've gotten to know them over the last couple of years where we see each other at all these school things.
Yeah.
Like, oh, that's William L's dad. Oh, that's the triplets dad. Well, I know all these people. And I
Yeah.
think
I
it's so
mean,
great.
it is, but it's women's work. So, and Dr. T as paying reparations, and that went to Andrew Gorshin, and thanks. Welcome to the fold, Andrew.
Woo.
But they are not the same. But also, too, women are under a pressing assault today in this country. They're losing their ability to compete in sports.
This is an
no.
anti-feminist, by the way.
Oh, this
we
is
should.
this is turfy.
What
This
the
is
heck?
we're going for anti-trans stuff.
Men
Yeah,
against
yeah,
women.
yeah.
Men and women may be equal today, but they are not the same. But also, too, women are under a pressing assault today in this
I
country.
don't know
They're
what that
losing
means.
their ability to compete in sports, beauty pageants, also
Oh,
just
boy.
basic things like
It means dog whistle. I don't know how to make a dog whistle sound because we can't hear it.
Well, yeah, you're not supposed to.
Yeah. I mean,
that
Oh
to
my
people that
God.
They're losing. Women are losing them.
We're losing recipes.
Women.
I mean, it is true that I have never competed in a beauty pageant.
Same.
But
Either, yeah.
missing the deadline for Rose Princess tryouts is the closest I ever got, so
I just lacked fucks, but
well, Rose Princess is one of those things. I am topical. I'm from Altadena, California originally.
I don't even know where that is, and I live in California.
You know where the Eaton Fire is?
Yeah, vaguely.
That's
I've never heard of the
Pasadena.
place before now, but
Yeah.
Wait,
my
wait, you live in
hometown
the middle
burned
of
down.
fires?
Yes. My
Nice.
hometown
Are you
burned
okay?
down this week. But
you
the
don't
thing
live
is,
there now.
Pasadena is right next to Pasadena, is the relevant part here, which is right where the Rose Parade is.
I've been to Pasadena.
Well, of course, because JPL's in Pasadena.
Yeah, JPL and Caltech, yeah.
Yeah, so you try out for Rose Princess because there's a party and they take nice pictures of you and things. And I didn't do it because I missed the deadline. That's the only reason I didn't get around to it. Weirdly, my sister did, and her pictures made her look like Molly Ringwald.
As somebody who definitely doesn't have ADHD, I can say I've never missed a deadline. Certainly not last year when I renewed my car registration 3 months late and realized I had to figure that out.
Mark Reed, I hereby deem you eye candy.
There you go. Yeah. No, bipolar people never miss deadlines either.
All right. That's why we're hitting the play button.
Identify as women, and no one is talking about. Feminists aren't talking about it.
Nobody's
Today,
talking about it.
Having a fight for women's.
This is a topic that I've never heard of before. Just now.
Equality.
No, inform me of this mysterious subject that no one has ever said anything about.
None of these subjects are things that nobody said anything about. Like, and again, if you live in your conservative bubble where people are just raging about them and telling you nobody's talking about them, like, there's no reason you would think this.
Yeah.
Statement saying feminists don't care about it, and you say you think that all women just are against men.
To answer your question, yeah, you're talking about women. Women are not all feminists. Yeah. There are plenty of feminists who.
That is a valid point.
I'll give him that one, but I'm not sure it actually it wasn't a point that contradicted anything the other guy said. It's just it is standalone.
Are very anti-woman. You saw it during in the political era where you have people who will attack.
He's right because, and we know this because I can't tell you how many women I saw that refused to vote for Kamala Harris because a woman is not fit to run the country. But again, doesn't negate the point that any of them are making, and it's a deflection because we're talking about you, my dude. And some women, I feel like, if we were talking about black issues, he'd be talking about Trump's one black supporter that always stands behind him in the rallies.
If he's
they can only find one.
Would be, but...
God.
Very anti-woman. You saw it during in the political era where you have people who will attack Kayleigh McEnany.
In the political era, as that is an isolated time that no longer is he meant sphere, not era, but still you're dumb and wrong.
Kellyanne Conway because they aren't pro-women. They're not for the girls.
So you
wait a minute. How are we 4 minutes in and we already have a bingo?
God. Al knows what's up. Al knows how to stack that deck because he knows we're not getting all the way through this.
Okay.
So you can be anti a specific woman without being anti-women. I'm not the biggest fan of women who, beat people up for no good reason. That's a bad thing. Thank you. But that doesn't mean that I'm anti-women. It means some women bad. Just like some men bad. Equality means some of your demographic is allowed to suck, just like some of every other demographic.
There's no one demographic that is a monolith. So to group any group of people into that is ridiculous.
Yeah.
So somebody in chat, Omnivore, just mentioned Margaret Thatcher. I remember when she died, and I talked to to people I knew about it, I was that they were like, "Ding dong, the witch is dead."
#1 song on BBC Radio the week that Margaret Thatcher died.
Yeah.
Because nobody does snark like the British.
I'll give you that. No, there are. I mean, it's a dry. I love dry wit, and
Yeah. No, and
nobody does it better. I'll give them that.
I am one of those people who still thinks of her automatically as Margaret Thatcher, the children's milk snatcher, because she defunded milk in children's schools for school lunches.
That's so fucked up. That's so counterproductive.
So,
what are you doing?
Yeah.
I didn't know about that, but it's apropos.
Yeah.
Like just a little bit left.
Pro women, they're not.
By the way, all of this is moderated by a woman, which good touch.
For the girls.
So you.
Actually, we have like just a little bit left. I haven't heard Kevin yet.
Yeah. When you talked about the pressures of being a man and having to provide and having to prove your value as a man, I think those are real challenges that men face. That's why like women have it harder too, because they are also being impacted by how aggressive men feel like they need to be able to secure the role that they have to play in society. But the reality of today.
Yeah, they have to be the one that wears the pants if you're one of these guys that subscribes to this idea. Like, and that's super fucked up because if your wife earns more than you and you've been trained your entire life and drink the Kool-Aid that
those marriages don't work out well.
No. My friend who is a stay-at-home dad does not remotely have this problem. Has a great life.
Today is that because
no, when we're talking about people with the toxic masculinity mindset, men, and a wife that has usually, it doesn't start this way, obviously, but like when the wife comes in, starts making more, because she was able to climb higher in the corporate ladder, or just has a field that pays more. Like maybe he's a cop and she went to be a director or something. Yeah.
Well, my aunt, who's 80-something, I don't actually remember off the top of my head how old she is, but we had a talk the last time I spent a lot of time with her in her house that is, thank God, still standing. But she was saying how she really wished my dad could have been a stay-at-home parent when we were kids because he would have been better at it than my mom was. And so, but she's like, but your dad was conservative. Like she was admitting something shameful was the way she phrased it too. It was really funny.
That's always illuminating.
It can definitely work out. I remember one of my friends had a baby that was only 22 weeks when she had complications. Yeah. And she was coming out. Like there was
sometimes
it happens. Sometimes it just happens. And so, she was on this of course they kept her in the hospital until the day she would have been born. She comes out and her lungs still aren't developed. She's on the breathing machine. And she stopped breathing at least once a day. It could have been more, but it was never less. And
breathing is hard.
Especially when you don't have the proper equipment. So it freaked her out. She was like, oh my God, my baby's going to die. Or just waiting around. When is my baby going to die? It drove her nuts. And so she went back to work and her husband stayed home because he was just, not that it didn't freak him out, but he was just able to mentally handle it better. It wasn't as traumatic for him, or I don't know, maybe he just held it together better for whatever reason. But to traumatize her and say, oh no, this is child rearing, which is women's work, which may have been something that could have happened. So this was in the 90s. It would have been 20, 30 years earlier. Well, the baby wouldn't have lived, but still had it. Yeah. Had it. I mean, it's just ridiculous that you're doing this to people. People should be free to live whatever kind of lives they need to live to make their families work, and to shame them into thinking, oh, men and women are different. Everybody's different. What the fuck does that even mean?
Because of the systems that we're in, the patriarchy is negatively impacting not only women, but also men.
There's no wrong.
So can we? Okay, unless
Do
the
you-
chat says go back to abortion, I think we should skip it, because I think when Roe fell, the community kind of did this to death. I think we're all on the same page about abortion.
Yeah.
Next section is mansplaining.
Yes.
Oh,
Let's
would
do
you like to
this.
tell us about that?
Well, okay. Actually, what mansplaining is all about is just a genuine effort on the part of us men to try and, you know,
To women, to women, to women. Gillian, what's your understanding of mansplaining?
My understanding of mansplaining is it's when a man unasked for,
Could you stop ruining the stream?
unprompted, explains something to a woman that he has no specific reason to believe she doesn't already know. Or he has reason to believe she does know and just pretends that he doesn't.
All right, so we're gonna
I
remind, which is why I tell you to stop touching shit.
Well, it didn't used to behave that way. It used to just remove me.
Mansplaining
and
is
possibly everyone
overly
missed my great
criticized.
explanation.
Why would you?
I frequently come across videos.
Literally, mansplaining, the word refers to like the bad thing. You don't sign up for the bad thing. That's like saying, do you agree that you should be allowed to physically abuse your children? And saying yes if you think spanking them is okay, but that's not abuse. Right? Like, which I'm not on board with, for the record. I'm not defending that. I'm just saying that, like, there's a difference between
thank you
that.
thank you for mansplaining.
Well,
We appreciate
well,
you.
now, that's a cheap shot.
Online where like a man will respond back to a broad generalization about women, and they'll be like, oh, you're just mansplaining it, as if men aren't allowed to have a voice in the conversation.
That's
And I
really
think
not
that the
what that
term
is.
itself, it's just not really defined.
And mansplaining's just
honey.
not real.
It's not real.
Oh,
It's not real.
so that guy who keeps posting comments in my articles telling me what my article is about, I'm just imagining that.
Oh my god.
Literally, I mentioned the first time he posted on one of the articles on the news site, I messaged one of my friends and was like, the mansplainer followed us, and he was like, God damn it!
Oh my god. I love people who can't take hints.
Like it literally is a man explaining something, and these people get angry about it. Like that's the reality
It's
of the
literally
time in which
not.
we.
It is literally not.
How can you be this ignorant about what that means?
Whenever men explain things, it's mansplaining. It's bad. Women just want us to shut up because they're feminazis.
If I needed someone to explain physics to me, which I don't, but if I did, we have a man right here who I could ask to explain physics to me. And he would do it so much better than no offense, Maya, but so much better than I'm sure Maya could. Because he has the necessary education.
I feel like I have to be careful in how I respond here.
Well, I mean, we all know you're a trust fund baby, and so your education can't be trusted. But
no, we say
6'5",
this all. We
blue
say,
eyes.
"Oh God, somebody please suck this man's dick." My God,
it's been 8 years.
But my point is, I don't know that I have a point. I hate this guy.
That's a legitimate point, Maya.
live. And it hurts the ability of men to have conversations with women because you think, oh
Or
wow,
if
if
they're
I explain this
incompetent.
issue to her, then I'm going to be accused of mansplaining, or I'm
Wow.
Maybe you could learn conversational skills. Spitballing here.
Like, oh my god, this guy.
accused of being sexist because I don't think she understands it. That's toxic.
Oh, dude.
And it hurts women, it hurts men, and it's just not a way for us to have a functioning
And
society.
at its core, it's completely hypocritical.
This guy is like, why won't they let me use my traditional medicine of strychnine injected directly into the jugular? Because it's arsenic, my guy.
No, Al has a valid point here. Mansplaining is overused and wrongly used a lot, and that doesn't make it non-existent.
I have known people who've clearly been using it wrong.
Yeah.
But,
These guys right now.
Like these guys.
And like there have been times when I have felt that maybe people have leaped to a conclusion about what I'm trying to say or something that I don't think it's warranted. But most of the time when I stop and think, I realize that there was something I said that was, at the very least, tone deaf. Sometimes not, but generally speaking, something is going on there that is valuable and like worth paying attention to. And do I sound like somebody who is just constantly guilt-ridden every second of my life?
So, I just want to make sure that everybody is on the same page here. So, according to Merriam-Webster's dictionary, mansplaining is a colloquial term that describes when someone explains something to another person. And I disagree with this. It's when a man describes something to a woman specifically in a condescending, overconfident, or inaccurate way. It's often used to describe when a man explains something to a woman who already understands it. And I can't emphasize enough that second sentence there, used when a man explains something to a woman who already understands it. And the reason that is problematic is that the man usually is confidently explaining something. Well, I mean, but it's usually wrong. Usually it doesn't have to be. But the thing is, the woman usually already understands it.
And often understands it better.
Right.
Men who will explain women's own articles to them.
Yeah.
The whole phenomenon first got codified in an essay by a woman talking about a man explaining her own book to her.
Yeah.
And she had to explain to him that she had written, in fact, she didn't because it just wasn't worth her time, but she would have had to explain to him, yes, I know, I wrote that book.
Wow.
Yeah.
It reminds me of that comment that I saw down here earlier, which is, watching this as a woman is wild.
Yes.
It must be.
Critical because
it's a little bit wild for me too, because like I live with the privilege that these guys have, and it's just not this fucking hard.
the feminist plight is that
you
women
have to go outside, touch grass, talk to people who have opposing views, like come to an understanding, like why do you believe this? Kind of like they're doing here, only with like the two sides coming to a mutual agreement after the conversation, which I don't believe is what's happening here, and why Jubilee gets criticized as much as it does.
I'm going to make a radical suggestion to these men that they will never, never listen to me on. Listen to a woman explain what she's saying, and then you have to be able to tell her point back to the extent that she says, yes, that's what I meant, before you're allowed to have an opinion on what she just said.
Oh God, Dr. Tapioca Weasel coming out the box for more reparations.
Reparations!
And that went to Vince O'Connell, bench thinker, smashing the patriarchy. Great aim, doctor.
I
Yeah.
have fantastic aim.
Borg
I have
Cube
fantastic.
Confederation and Austin Sims. You know what? You got a, what do you call it? Smashing the patriarchy. So I'm actually going to clap for you on that one.
I feel loved.
To the rest of you,
Need to
welcome
have a voice in their
school. Please enjoy your tapioca weasels, your nitties, and vaginas.
being told they can't have a voice. And then they turn around and do the exact same thing and say, you're mansplaining me. You shouldn't have a voice about this topic because you're a man.
And we're targeted because of our identity, and no one cares about it because we're supposedly in positions of power.
I assure you, a lot of people just like you seem to care an awful lot.
So we don't get to be victims. We don't get to say, oh, you should feel bad for us because we're men. So we don't get to have the luxury of having the benefit of the doubt of society or the media or any of those things. And it's a shame. It's a shame.
Right. Yeah.
Get up, guys.
I'm going to speak about
Tucker here, it looks like he's like,
oh, yeah, he's
Come on, baby.
am I right? Like,
no, yeah, he's like got the hands. He's like, I'm ready to. I got the guns.
Tucker,
I'm going to
Tucker's
speak
ready to
about
throw down.
mansplaining from a different
yeah.
perspective, because you guys are talking about controversial topics. I'm going to talk about it from just like a day-to-day perspective. In my relationship with my partner, how I try to be really mindful of mansplaining is when she is sharing her struggle. I think a tendency that can be conditioned in me through just how men dominate and want to have to solve problems and all that is I want to jump in and just solve it and try to explain what's happening here and try to question her experience and be like, hey, like, well, did you think about this? Did you think about that? Well, I see this, that.
This is a great one that doesn't get mentioned, and I do want to acknowledge that women do this too. When somebody, you have to acknowledge when someone is just venting,
Yeah.
and when they want help.
It's a tricky skill.
It really is. It really is. Good rule of thumb, and everyone equally has this issue where it's just like, pull back until they ask for help, or what do you think, or da 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 da. A better question. A better question would be, what do you plan to do about it? If they say I don't know, then you can jump in. But a lot of times people just want to bitch. Like I just need to get it off my chest before I kill a bitch.
Amy's down there with, do you want to vent or do you want advice? Which is what I was going to say. It's like, find out which they want. Maybe they do want advice, but find out before you give it to them.
And don't say it in a dickish way, because there's a lot of ways of being like, do you want a vent or do you want advice? Like, don't say it like that. Bad idea.
No. Practice your sympathetic voice in the mirror, kids.
Yeah, use your, empathy. Please.
And it is. And I understand that everybody's just trying to be helpful, but just a word of advice to try to keep in the back of your mind that, and I think everybody, man and woman alike, have been in this situation where it's just like, God, I was just trying to help. Like, why you don't have to bite my head off. But people can get to a point where it's just like, I feel like you feel like I don't know how to solve my own problems, or that, you're babying me, or you don't, you lack trust in me, my ability to run my own life.
Yeah.
And it's something that we all have to.
It is
hard.
It is
Speaking as a disabled person, a lot of the advice disabled people get given is either something they've already tried or something that doesn't work.
Right.
If I had a nickel for every time someone has heard that I am bipolar and says, have you tried St. John's wort? Here's a fun fact, kids. St. John's wort has been clinically proven to help mild to moderate depression. In bipolar people, it has been proven to trigger mania.
Nice.
So, no, I haven't tried St. John's wort. Thank you. Yeah, Hollyhock points out yoga. I get just concentrate is one that I've been given a lot.
Oh my God. What the fuck?
Bipolar person, just concentrate. No, just don't. if you feel those words coming out of your mouth, hold them back.
And again, I understand you. A lot of people, it's like, oh God, it was a few years ago in the community when somebody, higher profile lost somebody, and a lot
Mhm.
of people were just like, I don't know what to say. That's fine. I'm here for you if you need me.
Yeah,
Like that's
you don't actually have to say anything
all.
other than, wow, that must be really hard for you.
Like when last weekend TKA lost his mother-in-law, and
Mhm.
I don't know. I just went into HR mode. I'm just like, you know what? My deepest sympathies to you and your family. And I know that sounds really HRy, and I
Mhm.
like I swear to God I didn't copy and paste it. I'm just thinking about you, and I want good things for you. Maybe I should have just said this. And then I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna stop typing now.
Yeah. Well,
I
and
that is
there's
why
an article
I
that
have
just
I have
go
found a
ahead,
lot
Rob.
of success with the phrase that really sucks.
That's a useful phrase.
From a heartfelt perspective,
Mhm.
can sometimes get across that, because it's just like a reaction, and you're not trying to like sugarcoat things.
Yeah.
I mean,
Like,
yeah, but like that maybe like if your dog dies, but not your mother or mother-in-law.
Oh God, no,
no,
not something like that. But
I
but
know a lot of people who are kind of in shock right now. For some reason, can't imagine what that is. Um, though there is an article that got published recently that suggests it's mind control chemicals. So, yeah, can't be losing everything you own. It's mind control chemicals. But I'm here for you is a nice thing you
yeah,
can say to someone in shock.
Yeah.
Or, wow, that's awful. Or, there are all of these words that you can use. And my friends back home don't want your advice, thank you. They want to have 5 minutes to grieve the loss of everything they own before you start giving them advice.
A little
yeah.
bit, yeah. I mean, unless it's just like, hey, I have a spare room. Like it's just
Yeah. Like,
like
I mean, nobody wants to
I'm
come up here
here if
for
you
my
need
spare
me.
room, but yeah.
Yeah, like just letting them know that like you're really sorry that they're going through something. Uh, being just expressing that you're aware.
Yeah.
That inherently in itself comes off as mansplaining, because what is the counter to mansplaining is actually getting consent from the other person. How do you want to be supported? Do you want me to support you and listen to you, or do you want me to help solve problems?
It's also, mansplaining is also not just a man having an opinion. Right. That's not the
Thank you.
situation. The idea is when a man interjects an opinion that he either is not fully educated on or does not have the appropriate empathy to be able to talk about.
How is that different than a woman doing that?
Yeah, exactly.
That's my issue.
Then feel free when a woman does that to say you're womansplaining. I don't think that they'll get very...
There's a reason that term doesn't exist, because you're not allowed to do that towards women in society.
I promise you, if you...
Whoa, wait. What are you not allowed to do?
You're not allowed to tell people that they're womansplaining. And you're right, you're not. Just say they're being hysterical.
Oh, yeah. That always works wonders. And the next time, guys, that you say that to a woman, can you tape it?
Please, that would be hilarious.
Oh, I would pay real American dollars to watch.
I am saying, right? I would save up.
We could get a fund going.
What do you call it? Left-handed Jedi, $4 or $5 says, have you tried unplugging your bipolar and plugging it back in? I hear it helps.
You just invented
I think
they're just all talking over each other.
Yeah, it's going to persist if we want to go to the
next section is women should make their own money. We can also go
to innocent men suffer because of
feminism.
Actually, no, go to the end of this one because I want you to see it. Like the very no more. Like,
the most watched part.
Yeah. No, yeah, but There.
Or the previous one.
Where? No. Play.
What do you want? I'm
Hit
trying,
the play
Maya.
button. Play.
He never said that. I'm saying that they have a choice, and I'm not for taking choices away from women. You may be. I don't know.
All right, reset.
Oh, I bet he was anti-abortion, though.
Period pain is exaggerated.
Mm.
Okay, I'm glad no one stepped forward for that.
The female moderator says, "I'm glad no one stepped forward for that."
She was gonna join up with Tucker for a beatdown. If anyone
Tucker's like, oh hell yes.
You know, she's over here like, who's stepping forward?
She's like, this mic doesn't really have a flanged end to it. It can just go all the way up.
I'm gonna change my mind.
All right, next prompt.
Yeah, so that's why I was like, no, right here, we have to watch this. I love it.
I like Sir in the sweatshirt there, just shaking his head, just like, no.
Well, because the rest of these have like the chapter. The rest of these have the chapter icons. This short chapter just has most replayed, so I couldn't read it.
Oh, that's why.
Right?
Okay.
That's why, because this one, yeah. So,
Sorry.
next section is innocent men suffer because of women.
Because of feminism. Innocent men suffer because of feminism, and we are totally going into that.
Innocent men suffer because of feminism.
Uh-huh. Of course they all believe that.
So I think today in 2022, feminism has changed drastically, and I think it's really turned into demonizing masculinity in men while promoting
That's
masculinity
not
in women.
feminism.
Yeah, no.
Demonizing men is not feminism.
There's a thing that goes around every once in a while of positive examples of masculinity.
Mm-hmm.
Like Mr. Rogers, Bob Ross, LeVar Burton. You know, there are lots of positive men out there.
Yeah.
They're not jerks. It's possible to be male and not to be a jerk.
I mean,
probably, hopefully.
I just think that maybe they don't understand that misandry is a thing.
Yeah, they don't. They don't.
Which, I guess it's a look.
Women, and with that, good men are being pushed to the wayside and pushing parts of themselves down and not embracing their own masculinity.
Yo, I mean, parts of yourselves got to get pushed down once in a while. You don't want those standing up.
Because society...
Men aren't toxic enough anymore. Like, you know, that's what he's saying.
Yeah. Men should be able to express rage, which everyone knows is not actually an emotion.
Right.
is telling them that it's wrong.
100%. I think like anything that is deemed masculine is seen as now toxic.
Mm-hmm.
And I see it all over social media. You can't really say anything or do anything, especially even like
what, man?
Against or even...
Something can be part of masculinity and not be exclusive to masculinity. Like, the idea of taking responsibility and ownership for your actions is, I think, an aspect of masculinity. It's not an exclusively male, masculine behavior. There's really a lot.
Look, I don't understand why feelings or emotions need to be exclusively male or female. Like they want so much for men and women to be different. You know, it just we're the same species. I don't understand this. But also, really quick, our William Edminster just became a member. We're so excited to have you as part of the cult. Welcome. Please enjoy your tapioca weasels, your nitties and vaginas. And Gillian, I'm going to stop over talking you now.
That's fine. How you present as a male identifying person is masculine, no matter what that's like. How you present as a female identifying person is feminine, no matter what that's like. That's what those words mean. Masculine means like a man, feminine means like a woman. If you happen to be particularly femme or butch, you're still a man or a woman, if that's how you identify. We don't have a good adjective for non-binary that equates to masculine or feminine, but take that there too. You don't owe people presentation.
Right. Exactly.
For yourself, without it being like some weaponized in some way or shape or form.
Yeah. It's a shame that feminism has become less about actual equality and more about supremacy.
Jesus Christ.
My brother in Christ,
It's
you
not
don't
about-
want us to be equal.
He
rights
doesn't.
between
No,
men.
he wants so much for there to be men things and women things. And the men things are better than the women things, which is why we need to put women in this box and do, keep them in their place.
But Maya, we can vote now, so it's all okay.
They even let us have our own bank accounts. Wow.
I know. I'm so proud.
Women, it's about women being superior to men. And women don't even like it anymore,
not.
right? I hear conversations with so many girls that are friends of mine. They're like, I hate what feminism has become because it makes me.
All right, so your friends are dumb bitches. I don't know what else to say to you there.
Your friends have been lied to about feminism.
It's just kind of ridiculous. So listen to me. There are women who are calling themselves feminist who are really bigots, J.K. Rowling. Like, sometimes people don't get to self-ID.
Yeah.
When we are talking about toxic traits, like a misandrist is never going to self-ID as one. A bigot, or a racist, is never going to self-ID as one. Any of the ist, like they're not going to say, oh yes, and the problem that I'm having so much with I'm not saying that the Dems didn't screw the pooch on the election, but we're not giving enough credit to misogyny as we could be, because I don't know who you expect to come out of the exit polls saying I'm a big bigot and I don't want women bleeding all around the Oval Office. It's not going to happen.
Even though, for the curious, I bet me a shiny new nickel she's postmenopausal just because of her age. But
they're still, but you know what they're thinking. They're
the
same thing.
But the Democrats should have been able to run literally anyone. And that person should have gotten more votes than Trump. I don't care what kind of campaign they ran.
Yeah,
it should not have mattered.
Seriously. No, and again, Joe Biden's campaign plan was hiding in the goddamn basement.
It was.
Hey, Joe Biden wasn't going to win, I don't think.
No,
do you think he was?
I think you're missing the point. What they're saying is because Kamala ran a bad campaign, Trump won, despite the fact that Trump did absolutely everything wrong.
Exactly.
It's the only thing he knows how to do.
Yeah.
So many leopards are going to be eating so many faces over the next 4 years.
I'm just trying to think of even in the last 2 months of the election, he did major, which should have been major no-nos, which is calling all Hispanic, say all Hispanics, Puerto Ricans came on, sanctioning the speech where Puerto Ricans lived on a garbage island. And he didn't come out against that. He was just
Haitians eating dogs or something.
There's the Haitians eating dogs. Just every racist trope you could possibly think of.
That was a new one for me.
And then he went on TV and got praised for praising Arnold Palmer's dick, which is, according to the right wingers, homophobic.
Yeah.
No one else would have made it. No other Republican would have made it past the election.
You know what he did in the last days of the campaign that he shouldn't have done? Become a convicted felon.
Oh, and
he should have committed felonies.
34
felonies.
Mm-hmm.
34 felonies.
There are countries he can't get into.
Yeah.
But Kamala ran such a hideous campaign that, she just couldn't gain the Americans' trust.
He
Because her
legally couldn't
campaign was
vote for
so
himself.
bad. Or maybe it was just her dick was just so non-existent.
He legally couldn't vote for himself because he's a Florida resident.
But still.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I'm just like, we got to stop letting my whole point to get into that rant, and I know I'm losing people here. My whole point of that is, one, we're a misogynistic nation. Yeah, men and women, and that's why that is the only reason. I would say the only reason is the major reason Kamala didn't get elected. But two,
I would say misogynoir.
I'll give you that. But two, it is case in point why we don't let bigots self-ID. Stop letting Nazis call themselves feminist.
Yeah.
They're homophobes. They're transphobes. They're racist. They're not decent human beings. Call it out. God damn it. I'm sorry. Hit the play. I'm sorry. Gillian, did you want to say anything before you hit the play button? Because I'm ranting.
No, I'm good. I'm good.
I'm pissed. Let's go.
I feel as if I'm a victim, and also too that men aren't supposed to be men anymore. It almost absolves us of the responsibilities that we have as males in society to be providers, to be protectors.
Right.
And innocent men suffer because we're made out to be toxic because we're fulfilling our roles as men in this world. It's absolutely insane.
Yeah, and I mean, I disagree a little bit with saying that men
to be providers and protectors.
Jesus
hey,
Christ.
men in the chat, if if you could let me know, what is your role? Like, what is your purpose? I'm really, I don't know. I don't know where to go with this. Like the conservatives, I'm sorry, the anti-feminist, really seem to think that there's a purpose for men here. And I thought that your purpose was given to you by yourself. But there seems to be some
They
purpose.
don't think that. No.
There seems to be some purpose that I can't wrap my tiny little woman brain around because I don't have a penis. So if you could help me out. Man, Doc, you're the resident man here. What is a man's purpose?
Ooh.
To be providers and protectors.
Dr. Kip's purpose is doing the laundry. He can move in with me.
Yeah. More of that.
have to be providers, but I think, demonizing those men is part of the problem.
Yeah, I would disagree a little bit, but I think also too, though, what we probably would agree on.
So I get the feeling that this guy, like, a lot of bad takes, fewer bad takes on this side of the conversation than some. I'm going to stop talking.
Yeah, I would disagree a little bit.
For $2, Mark, right-handed Seth Smith, said, "Way to name drop she who shall not be named." I'm sorry, but I gotta call Nazis out when I see them. Like holy shit. And Mark, I have not forgotten about your. Well, okay, maybe technically I forgot about your lightsabers, but it top of mind. Just lazy and busy.
Also, too, though, what we probably would agree on is that in a society that makes women feel as if they need to be more like men, all you get is really bad versions of men. And when you have men who are increasingly more feminine, you get men who aren't being men at all anymore. And I think that's a huge societal problem, and we see the ripple effects and the consequences of that.
There's no talking to this guy. Like, he's operating on such a different level that, like, it's
such a different level.
Yeah,
such a different level.
Like the broken level in a video game that just soft locks you and puts you going in circles until you eventually die of dysentery. Like that level, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
And so we're trying to actually operate out here. Like you're not actually. You have no idea what we're talking about.
Who, me?
Him.
Oh, him. Okay, yeah, yeah.
What's getting me is his whole, we're just getting women who are really bad versions of men.
Yes!
And I don't think that's transphobia for once. I think that he doesn't like it that women talk now.
Yes!
And have opinions, and will tell him to shut up if he's being an idiot, which means he must get told to shut up a lot.
Let these mouthy bitches out the house.
Exactly. So, for once, I'm gonna say it. He's not being transphobic. He's just being a misogynist. It's not better.
It's not better.
Every single day.
When I started hearing y'all talk, y'all have a huge misconception of even what feminism is.
Thank you. That's all I'm saying, though.
Like, so much of this conversation is not pointless because they're saying some pretty revealing things, but like if they were actually trying to actually dialogue with each other, then it would be pointless. This is a conversation with an audience. The intentions are different, but fucking
I want to go to a gala somewhere just so I can have Tucker on one arm and Josh on the other.
Right. She's like, you know what? I agree. I will shut the fuck up. You two just keep talking.
The goal
Please
of
explain
feminism
it to
isn't
me
to
then.
demasculate men. The goal of feminism is to fight for social, political, and economic equality for everyone, regardless of
equality
your
of
race,
opportunity
gender.
or equality of outcome, because it used to be equality of opportunity, and that's when I would say I would be a feminist.
But either
now
way,
it's become equality of
But
outcome.
hold on, but either way, what y'all are talking about is feelings.
Right.
Y'all talking about, I don't like how women make me feel in society about crying, how women make me...
Well, the question was about feelings.
Yeah. No, hold on.
It was about are men effective?
Hold
That's
on.
feelings.
Yeah, but
So, yeah.
but feminism
sir.
itself...
Sir, men are afraid that women will hurt their feelings. Women are afraid that men will leave their bodies in a forest somewhere. Like, I'm sorry, but that's what it is. Is these guys are so afraid of getting their feelings hurt, and they do not realize what it is like to walk down the street as a woman.
Oh, yeah. 100%.
It's about, like you said,
and it's always been that way.
Yeah.
Outcome. It's about the wage gap. It's about having access to...
Which doesn't exist, by the way,
right?
right? But anyways, let's not...
Is the wage gap completely fictional? This is news to me.
It is not. It's a talking point that it is.
I
But
mean, yeah, because it depends on, oh God. The wage gap is so multifaceted. It's not just like, oh, you're a woman, so you have to make $5 less than the men here. There's so much shit that goes into it, and we're not talking about like, okay, all nurses who, you know, have been in the workforce 5 years, you know, are, the men are here, the women are here. When you're going into those lower level jobs, like what I call line jobs, yeah, most men and women, if you're retail customer service, if you're a cashier, it's going to look similar across the
That's
board.
not where it comes in. It's more systemic than that.
It's more systemic than that. When you start looking more into management, especially in childbearing years, is more where it comes in, because women are kind of damned if you do and damned if you don't. Women are more likely to leave the workforce, to raise children, and to have their growth stunted, during those non-school years. And then also, rather than men. But for the women that stay in, they're more likely to be stereotyped as a bad mom. And when you're seen as being a bad person, it's going to bleed over into your job performance. So if you're ranked lower in job performance, that means you're making less money,
Yeah.
because a lot of times job performance, if I get a 3 and the man is getting a 5, he's going to get a higher raise percentage wise than I am. Also, fields that are traditionally labeled feminine are more likely to get paid less than fields that are traditionally labeled masculine. And we see this. Last time I looked at it, they were talking about like the field of biology, where it's like, well, women are more likely to be biologists. So, those tend to be jobs that grow slower in, than
Yeah.
other science fields. Or another one was IT. When we first got computers, IT was considered clerical.
Hmm.
So, women, when, what was that movie with the black women?
Hidden Figures.
Thank you, Hidden
I
Figures.
really need to watch that.
Me too. I never got around to it. I want to so bad, but I hate movies. That aside, when I have
Oh.
free time, I never think, oh, I'll watch a movie. Um, but yeah, IT was actually really undervalued until the
Hmm.
80s, when they started marketing video games towards boys, and then boys started going to those fields, and it's like, oh, there are more men. So now IT is like really high up. It's like one of the highest paying, especially entry level
and
fields,
it's and it's one
for
of the most
somebody just sitting in a goddamn desk.
and it's
Hmm.
also one of the most gender biased.
That's what I
Yeah.
just
Computer
said.
science, computer science in like as a college major is more lopsided than mathematics and physics, I'm pretty sure.
It's one of the most, yeah, it
Well,
really is
and
one of the most lopsided fields I've seen. Like when we're talking about just people like sitting at a desk, it's insane.
Yes.
women are socialized not to ask for things, really, which means that they're socialized not to ask for higher wages, which means they don't get the same kind of wages that men do. There's also, he was saying, equality of opportunity, but there isn't equality of opportunity.
Yeah.
How many people in the chat who are American citizens have a female senator?
Maryland, we got our first female senator during the election, which I was like, holy shit, really?
Yeah, we have two, and have the entire time I've been a Washington voter. And actually, I have a female representative in the federal House of Representatives too. But I am in such a minority.
Yeah, you really are. Like, I mean, it was bad. I had no idea the first female senator. Like,
Yeah,
and we're a really blue state. I mean, it's just insane to me.
yeah. We had, in the time that I've been living in Washington State, we had our first female governor. And now I like our incoming governor and I like our past governor, but we had one female governor and then we're back to men for two governors.
Yeah.
And so where is the equalness of opportunity of which he is speaking that lets women have equality of outcome?
Yeah.
I mean, just them all talking over each other is just great.
Let you talk. No, hold on. No, you didn't let me talk, though. Hold on. No, you didn't let me talk, though.
It's about feelings, right? You don't want to talk about how men feel. Let's talk about how women feel. Let's talk about feminists.
Again, it's not about feelings, period. That's my point. It's not about women. It's not about feelings, period.
Other women.
Wait, can we have the prompt again?
Yeah, let's cut back to the prompt because it didn't have feelings.
Exactly.
Right. It's about
Innocent
Boom! I love this lady.
men suffer because of
What are you
feminism.
talking about?
And so can I pose this question?
But that is still about
on a
feelings,
day on a day-by-day basis, do you think you're negatively affected by feminism?
100%.
Yeah.
120%.
And so
I really believe that.
Get over yourself, buddy.
How,
Can you
sir?
explain to me how on a day-by-day
Because
basis
it makes
it's
them
affecting
feel
you negatively?
because again, masculinity has this mythical eligibility of power.
Wait.
When someone, feminist, what have you, challenges that, it feels like oppression to them. So
Yeah.
it feels
It's not-
like something is
it's
being
not
done.
challenging.
That's just my perception. Feel free to disagree, but that's what it looks like to me.
I'm not oppressed, so I
That's what I'm saying.
challenge that perception. But also,
You're not I mean, You probably are if you live in the United States, but that's not what we're talking about right now.
So, too, to go back to your point about
Junior here, CJ, saying he wasn't oppressed?
Yeah.
Sir.
I don't...
Sir.
Person on the panel to talk about that.
No, neither am I. But, sir.
Feminism, that may have been true with first wave feminism, but with third wave feminism, that is no longer
and
the
I would
case
even argue
anymore.
because first wave feminism and third
Guys,
wave
bring it back to
feminism.
the prompt. And then also, I love the ping-ponging, but just make sure we don't have 5 people talking on top of each other.
All right. There's another
need a
side to this
speaking
too.
stick.
It's the patriarchy, and so that
He's
is
a great
what you
moderator.
are talking.
Yes.
She's going to start throwing down any minute now, and I'm here for it.
About it is.
I mean, if
the
we had
pressure-
moderators like this on, a certain channel that shall go unnamed, probably wouldn't be a Nazi party.
Yeah, well.
to be strong, the pressure to protect.
But in what ways is our society a patriarchy today? I know you said values, so I would want to get clarification.
Oh, in what ways is our society a patriarchy today?
Do you want the short list or the long list?
Fucking ask that.
This guy, Mr. Mormon. The Mormon asked
I
that.
swear to God, this man has knocked on my door asking me if I want to hear the good news about Joseph Smith.
Oh my God.
What you define a patriarchy.
So we should define patriarchy as a group, because I personally am still having a hard time defining it today because it is so
we're talking
massive.
about something that you can't even define.
So, did he go to my alma mater? Because
Did he what?
he just reminds me of somebody who went to my hippie liberal alma mater.
This guy?
For college. Like, not... But the way he's talking. Let's all get together and define patriarchy.
He's pretty over the top with the kumbaya sort of strategy, yes. But he's also very legitimately thoughtful. He's not just
No, and I mean he's definitely. I mean, Macklemore went to my college, so it'd be hard for him to be the worst graduate of my alma mater. But
All right. I gotta make if anybody's listening on headphones, you might want to take this out because for $20, Native Atheist is making it rain in this motherfucker. Thank you.
Having a hard time defining it today because it is
So we're talking
massive.
about something that you can't even define.
So, I'll try and define. Do you want me to try?
Yeah,
and
let's do it
In a
together.
broader spectrum, I'd say patriarchal is a societal structure that we have set up that's kind of, what's the word, sociological values of how we set up a hierarchy in our society.
But
and
a
so it's
patriarchy
not
is
a
defined
little...
by, where men are in charge and hold power.
Yeah, but I'm not saying that it's a literal thing where there's some document that somebody wrote where it said men are in charge, women are second. It is a set of sociological values that you see.
There are that, but there aren't always that. You don't need that for it to be a patriarchy.
no, you don't. I just have been reading through the Constitution lately, so no.
Yeah, but I mean, as applies to at least one of us on the panel here, all men are created equal, right? So
changing the definition
Thanks, Thomas Jefferson.
of patriarchy, which is fine. I just want to make sure we're on the same page.
That's what my definition is. I didn't say there was a set definition.
But that's a red
theorist.
herring.
That's how
So
I
are
define
we
it.
saying we're not in a patriarchal society?
No, I don't believe we are today. So
What the fuck do you think we're in?
He might be about to explain.
the whole idea that our country is an oppressive patriarchy, it just really gets under my skin because nobody's able to actually tell me what that is. Well, by definition, the patriarchy would be a society where men have power over women and women don't have a voice. And in today's society, that's just not true. Obviously,
it's not true that they have to have no voice. That's not.
No. But
some people have power.
I mean, but we had to fight for the little voice that we have.
Yeah, but
and
you
they're trying to claw that back.
But you have the right to vote, Maya. Okay, you have that. It's not 1950 anymore.
Credit cards, Maya. We can have credit cards.
By the way, I just want to raise, it's a little bit horrifying that he thought that women only got the right to vote in 1950.
You know,
I don't know what he thinks. I think he's just
Not this guy. It might not have been him.
Okay,
But somebody earlier when that first got brought up, I don't think it was him. Somebody else was like, "It's 2022. It's not 1950 anymore." And I'm like,
hot take. If these people knew more history, they would have different opinions.
100%. 100%. I'm willing to bet all of them still believe in the War of Northern Aggression.
Which you and I have talked about before.
Yeah, it's fun.
That was
I
fun.
hope, Mark, we've answered your question here. In what ways isn't it a patriarchy? Because women are allowed to vote and hold credit cards
and have YouTube channels.
Yeah, so we're even Steven now. So by definition, it is not a patriarchy.
Because Maya has more subscribers than me, it can't be a patriarchy. This is how it works.
Even though she does more work. Like, didn't have having videos on her channel.
Making content is...
All right, we could play button.
For comments. I know.
Or over others. But in our society, that has more to do with economic status than actual sex.
So going back to the prompt, right? The prompt is innocent men feel...
Innocent men suffer.
Attacked by feminism.
Suffer
from
yeah,
feminism, right?
Not attack, actually suffer harm.
Well, yeah, they did all correct him on that.
If you make a mistake, you should be held accountable to that mistake.
Absolutely.
Now with the forms of internet coming out and communication going everywhere, y'all are talking about feeling attacked for being able to say certain things or not.
Not attacked. I just think that psychologically some
suffer.
Innocent men do suffer from
But I
the
would say they
narratives that
also
are pushed.
suffer if you're speaking about laws.
I need a definition check on innocent, please.
Yeah.
Okay, so as a white man, it would be probably somebody who does not intend to do bad things.
Hey, Gillian, have you heard about our Lord and Savior, Cthulhu?
I have. I've actually read Lovecraft.
Koalu.
Never been on the racist Lovecraft.
Squalu.
Oh my god.
I think feminism has changed a lot of laws.
Koalu is one of the inside jokes of this channel.
You have to watch every stream to get the inside jokes. Go, sorry, go ahead.
Unless it's about magnets, apparently, because everybody hates the weasel.
All are women beneficiaries. So if you look at divorce courts, if you look at family courts, if you look at abortion, if you look at a whole host of laws, all of them are women primary. Men are heavily...
Men aren't allowed to have abortions! No offense, trans men, he doesn't count you either.
What the actual fuck?
I mean... I have never successfully been able to carry out an abortion, and I've made many appointments.
I don't know. Like, did you hear that sentence? These are all ways that women have the upper hand. Like, where did this come from?
The small sliver I will give him is that if this is 2022, it's pre the overturn of Roe v. Wade.
Okay.
But
I mean, so women. Can you? Oh God! As much as this pains me, can you go back 10 seconds? Like, listen to all the things that he just listened.
No, I know. I'm just saying the one thing I will give him.
So if you look at divorce courts, if you look at family courts, if you look at abortion, if you look at a whole host of laws, all of them are women primary. Men are heavily affected by those.
So I disagree actually on that.
So I mean, like, what does he mean? Like heavily, like. Women primary and women benefit from all those, because I mean,
well, he's saying that while you're pregnant and I'm out there not being pregnant,
but he's talking about divorce court and family court, and I'm thinking is he saying that women have that we walk in there and just win?
Well, yeah, that's what he's saying. Also, women don't have to go around with scarlet A's on their chests anymore. We can't forget that.
Yeah. Wait, how did we let that law slip?
Yeah. Yeah, no, as far as this guy knows, and his knowledge of divorce may be a little bit incorrect. Spitballing here.
Just
As far as he knows, women just walk into family courts and get whatever they want.
Whatever they want. Yeah, yeah. And men can't tell us what to do with our own bodies, and we can just choose to have
No.
abortions all willy nilly.
How dare?
Jillian, what you know what? I threw the last abortion party. This time it's your turn. When
I
it's
know. I gotta clean my house first.
God damn it. Are we getting the holy whiteboard? What's happening here?
Oh, I'll bring it out when it's time.
Okay. Well, the least you can do is hit the like button. Like button.
I actually agree on the whole loss stuff.
Thank you.
But just going back to like the prompt on the
Please do smash that like button though.
suffering thing, I do think that you have to be aware that a man can't just go and say whatever they want, where a female can't.
Should they be?
That is not true.
Can.
A female can say a lot more than a man can, especially online.
Ferengi alert.
Holy shit.
Ferengi alert.
I have an image of a pair of Ferengi saved on my computer for every time a man uses the word female when he means woman.
Oh, I do. You know what? I do hate that. And then I went like, my mind went blank for a minute there because like, at least they're not saying femoid anymore. That really bothered me.
You allow your females to wear clothing, kind of thing.
Yeah. It's kind of like Dr. Bird starts talking about like your woman, like that's all I hear. It's like men, check your women. Like, like where's your woman? Like, do you have it on a leash?
And there's a lot of things that women can't say. Like, I should be allowed to control my own body.
We're just like preloading the whiteboard.
I am very good at planning ahead.
For $2, Doc Dino says, make magnet videos, Magnet Man.
F you, chat. Right there.
Doc Dino's a friend of the show. We love him.
I'll press play.
Yeah, on the internet, there's a lot of there's been a rape threat made, and women said no one will judge an eye. Cancel culture doesn't come in, but if a man said that same thing, they would get canceled immediately. I believe men today are really weak.
You just get canceled immediately.
Sir,
he's really weak. He has a sample size of one that he can really inspect, I guess.
So this is like probably pre the fascist thing of Twitter, right? Like or around the time that he got it, and it was still had like some semblance.
This is 2 years ago.
Yeah, I don't remember. I don't keep Twitter facts in my head. I'm thinking that was before it was like right now. If you go in, it's just a Nazi party, right? It's what I hear. I haven't been in there.
I feel like that happened when Elon bought it, though. That was like 2 years ago.
Yeah, no, and that's what I'm saying. I don't know when that happened, but
at
the time that it was probably working its way around at the time.
I've never actually had a Twitter account, so
I'm pretty sure this guy identifies as I believe the term is beta cuck bitch. And he feels like that's somebody else's fault.
My partner and I went out to breakfast the other day, and the guys in the next booth were talking about Jimmy Carter, and one of them felt the need to remind us that Amy Carter had been ugly as a child and was still ugly now. But yeah, go on about how men aren't allowed to say things anymore.
What does that even mean?
Oh, women must be beautiful. Women must be beautiful at all times, and so that men will want to fuck them,
right?
Because
especially at their father's funeral,
it is in the fucking that we serve. We can come to serve our purpose of child rearing.
Yes.
So we must be fuckable, because if we're not fuckable, then we can't do the child rearing, as is our purpose.
Repeat, especially at their father's funeral. They need to make sure they look their absolute best at their father's funeral.
Yes. The fuckable for purpose at the funeral. Don't cry, woman. Someone might not see you as fuckable.
Right.
Easy, and I feel like
Any
there's no
questions?
courage. I feel like men today are okay with being losers, and I mean, more men need to stand up for what they truly believe in, and I feel like there's not enough.
What if I truly believe in being a loser by your fucked up, really myopic, small dick energy definition?
Oh, well, then loser you shall be, because that is not what real men do, or something.
He's the guy with the small dick energy.
Back to the prompt. Do innocent men suffer from feminism? I think look at with this entire Johnny Depp Amber Heard situation that happened this past year.
Whoa!
Jesus!
We're going here.
That's okay.
All of these feminists rushing to the camp to defend Amber Heard, and then all those things come out during that trial, and people are like, maybe Johnny Depp isn't the horrible guy that we thought he was, right?
That's actually true. For the record, I watched that whole trial, and I do think that he was maligned. Like he's got issues, but like he didn't do the things he was accused of in that trial. But like,
Yeah, but she's being put forth as the poster child for all lying women. No woman has ever been sexually assaulted or worse.
like it's absurd. Like,
yeah, because Amber Heard
you know what
lied
Johnny
once.
Depp isn't doing? Johnny Depp isn't out there being like, disbelieve all women. Johnny Depp
really
was
isn't.
very particular about these
He did
allegations.
pay a publicist to drag her down, though.
Huh?
Which is fine. And if somebody's being an asshole, you treat them like an asshole. But what you don't do is use them as a poster child to demean like all women. Holy crap.
And nobody in that whole thing did that. She didn't even demean all men. She demeaned him. She didn't demean all men.
She didn't. But
she said she was a victim of domestic abuse, which he has been convicted of. So, yeah, she is a victim of domestic abuse.
He's never been convicted of domestic
Yes, he has.
When?
In there, I don't have the stuff right to hand because I wasn't expecting it to come up because nobody told me what video we were watching. But he has been found liable in a court of law of domestic
liable and
abuse.
guilty are different things. And what he did was he lost a lawsuit against
liable
the son.
is guilty.
He did not find he was not found. He was the plaintiff in both actions. He was not found liable.
Liable is guilty. I just want to make sure everybody understands that liable is guilty in civil court.
Okay. Yeah. Yes. He was never found
liable
for domestic abuse. He sued the Sun newspaper and for defamation because they relied on Amber Heard, and he wasn't going to win that because they actually weren't guilty of defamation because they relied on Amber Heard, which is something that they're allowed to do. He was not, but he was the plaintiff in that action. They were found not liable for defamation against him. Johnny Depp, the only time he has been found liable for anything related to Amber Heard was that he did lose one of the counts of defamation against her. Their trial was a mutual defamation thing.
According to the judge in the Sun suit, quote, the great majority of alleged assaults of Ms. Heard by Mr. Depp have been proved to the civil standard.
That is correct. That is what the judge said. The later trial,
which was under much looser standards, and he chose that jurisdiction deliberately, but you can go ahead and believe him. I'm not going to argue with you about it.
Fair enough.
So that is an example of feminism radicalizing these people to just be like, I'm going to be anti-male and I'm going to go root against this guy. But to the point of the political...
How is Johnny Depp a victim of the system?
We have 30 seconds left on this prompt, so just finish your thought.
But yeah, but also to Brett Kavanaugh. An example there.
Jesus fucking Christ. What?
Brett Kavanaugh.
I just broke my monitor. Hold on.
Oh my god. No, that's the right response, actually.
I'm sorry.
Wow. Like Andrew Christopherson, you have to say this while crying and under oath. Oh my god. Um, so he's gonna bring up Brett Kavanaugh as like a reason that women shouldn't be. Wait, do I need to?
Huh?
Are you
Go
able
on.
to play? Because you stopped it right after you said Brett Kavanaugh.
So just finish your thoughts.
Well, you were. I thought you were speaking. Oh shit.
To Brett Kavanaugh. Big example there. You have all these allegations that come up when he's going to be the Supreme Court justice that never came up before.
Right, exactly.
What did that do as far as enable?
Oh my god. I don't even know where to start with this one.
Because, well, I mean, we should probably start with the fact that Brett Kavanaugh is the poster child for people who are abused by society. He said sarcastically, for the record, just putting that out there.
He thinks that like Brett Kavanaugh was like exonerated or some shit.
Brett Kavanaugh was never exonerated. They just decided they didn't care.
Yeah, seriously though. And
That's literally what happened.
I mean, it's like people like this. He's like, well, why did she wait so long? Why did she wait until he went for the Supreme Court to bring this up? Like, just totally missing the mark on this one.
Yeah.
Like, I don't. Part of me is just like I don't think that men understand how traumatic it is, and another part of me knows that saying that I hope that you are sexually like molested is the first thing that they go to when they want to shut a woman up. So on some level they definitely do, but it's just really interesting that even though it's their go-to to traumatize a woman, in the comment section or in her DMs or in her emails, all of a sudden when she's saying, hey, this happened to me a long time ago, and she only has the courage now to bring it up after she's been able to process it and get over say, I don't know if you ever get over it, but like just process through the trauma to the point where she could say it without like falling apart. Like I don't know why people think that it's like crying wolf for like these types of allegations is fun for women, especially at the point that someone is about to become a public figure.
Yeah.
I mean, it's one thing if it's like, okay, there's like a 12-year-old, I'm supposed to say 12-year-old, 17-year-old girl who's mad at her boyfriend. It's another thing where it's a grown ass woman who hasn't seen a man in 20 years. And now she's coming out with this allegation, and you can't prove that anybody's giving her money or that she's being backed or anything. It's just, oh no, we don't want to believe her because why? And Bill Cosby, the same thing happened with Bill Cosby, and I'm like, why?
Oh yeah, no, I know someone who is insistent that Bill Cosby can't be guilty because why would you ever go somewhere with a man you didn't want to have sex with?
Jesus Christ.
And this is a woman saying these things, which, yeah. Internalized misogyny is a hell of a drug, kids.
I mean, when we're not talking. I mean, if memory serves, most of the women weren't like working girls. They were like in the business and wanted, it was like a working relationship. It's not uncommon to go places with men that you work with, or like even especially in like that kind of a business where you have to network.
Yeah.
She's just not even trying to.
Well, she was like, well, they went places and did drugs with him. Ma'am, they were drugged. There's a difference.
That's not what happened. Holy shit. And I mean, okay, a woman taking drugs, and I don't know who needs to hear this. I'm hoping nobody that's currently in the chat. But if I choose to do drugs, it is not me agreeing to have sex with you.
In fact, literally, legally the opposite.
Those seem like dramatically different things. Yes.
Literally, legally,
especially when you didn't knowingly take, like, okay, well, I shouldn't say especially, but like,
yeah.
Either way,
there should be a different version of especially where it doesn't minimize.
Right? No, like
thing.
right. But like either way, whether I willingly take drugs, and certainly, especially if I am drugged, like what the actual fuck?
Yeah.
I don't understand like why people think this way. It's like, well, you did. I mean, I don't know. I mean, it's not wholly different than the abortion talk where it's like, well, you had sex, so you agreed to have the baby. Like
that's it's so. Oh my god! Like
it's the same logic.
Nothing ever went wrong in your life. Like, come on, man.
Not why I unfriended her on Facebook. That was the anti-vax stuff. But it was why she's
justified.
It's why she'd been on thin ice.
Yeah. Holy shit. Okay.
People who have fake accusations, okay? I'm going to ride the coattails of the Me Too movement and ruin an innocent man's life.
Really quick, though, where's Brett Kavanaugh right now? He's on the Supreme Court?
He's on the Supreme Court. Thank God, because
and then
Truth
Johnny
won the
Depp,
day.
was he convicted
on the
at the
day?
time?
Because Truth won the day.
But that's the point.
He
So,
won.
Stop. Brett Kavanaugh is on the Supreme Court because Truth won the day. That's I have to laugh and drink vodka or else I'll fucking cry. Actually, I have tequila tonight.
Pendulum. And for
tequila, always a good decision.
really long time, people weren't called out for things, people weren't held accountable. So now, the pendulum's swinging. Maybe there are going to be some false accusations and stuff going too far. I would rather have 1 million false accusations, like over 1 million people that deserve to be in jail not being in jail. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, I'd rather people go through you'd rather have 1 million people that are guilty on the streets than a million people that are not guilty have to go through a trial.
I would rather have...
Reset.
Essay is extremely difficult.
It is extremely difficult because a lot of people, I think that, and I'm only saying this because I have to remind people about this all the fucking time. Court procedures are a fact-finding process. It's really difficult to prove any kind of assault without like the person coming forward and saying, yeah, I totally did that. Or like video camera footage or, I mean, they beat you up really badly and like no one would conceivably consent to this, or like you were found in that state, like, where it's like, nobody, like
the two hardest crimes to prosecute
are
domestic violence and SA.
God, yeah. And I mean, that people were just like, well, if he was guilty, they'd be in jail because that's what we do with guilty people. And we don't. I mean, we really can't do this by state, but I do remember like looking at the numbers by state when Abbott was trying to. Oh, right, when Abbott wanted to make abortion illegal.
Mm-hmm.
And they were like, what are you going to do with all these like SA cases? Like you have one of the worst records in the US. And he's like, well, we're just going to, jail more SAers. And we're like,
well, I mean,
even if you were going to do that, it doesn't solve the problem.
Well, especially because of the number of women who that's not what's going on with them. Like, I'm sorry, if I had had an ectopic pregnancy, I was going to want an abortion because it's, that or die.
Yeah, because you'll die, because that's what happens
literally
100% of the time.
Yeah, but I mean, and I'm saying this because, like, how, like, just because we're talking about SA and, like, how little, like, seldom, like, I don't think.
Yeah.
I want to say that the percentage is not over 50% in any state. Like, in any state. Most of them go unsolved.
Yeah, probably.
And those are of the people that come forward.
Yeah, the percentage of actual convictions relative to the number of cases overall is under 5 or 10%.
Yeah.
Because of how few people come forward, how few people get the police to take them seriously, how few people get to trial in the first place, and how few convictions there are. Like, yes, I absolutely agree. Let's put more of those people in jail. On the other hand, that is such a low bar, my guy.
Just saying, though. All right, let's go to what is the next section?
Women are fit to be president is the next one. Gender pay gap is real. Oh God, I haven't always understood consent.
What's after that?
Male feminists are in it to get laid.
Yeah, okay, let's go there.
Let's do this.
That won't make me cry.
We're coming back to the women president thing. I need to hear what they say for that. But
male feminists are in it to get laid.
It's been 15 years, chat.
I'm excited for this one because I don't like women sexually.
Shocker! Is that weird that...
I'm excited for this one because I don't like women sexually, so this is going to be a very interesting conversation. I think that if you are a straight male, the way you view women subconsciously is always going to have something to do with sex.
Right.
On just a fundamental level, just in nature. Now, that might not be the whole premise, but I do think that it has something to do with it.
Yeah, I think again, the problem with these statements is they're general. I think there are men out there that are predatory and are posing as feminists to get into the pants of women.
And even on a more like
micro. Okay. I've never met said men. I can't confirm or deny it. Like
I
think that there's I do want to say though, I think that most people will modify their rhetoric towards the person that they are attracted to.
Yes.
Yeah, that's probably a fundamental sort of human hardwired thing on some level.
And so if that makes a guy be perceived as and so I'm having a hard time with this, whether it's like, well, men will say things to get laid, or is it they will male feminists, like I am only an actual like feminist, like in my heart I believe that women deserve to be on equal ground with men, only because me holding that internal thought will get me laid.
That doesn't make any sense. That's like not how brains work.
Exactly. And so, like,
it has to be a fraud, because then they're being honest but still being sleazy. Whereas no, sleaziness is
right. No, and that's what I'm saying. Like I can like just to give credit or to lend credence to the question, I could see lip service. But like if you're talking about a feminist, like it's a belief system, right? Like that men and women deserve to be treated equally. And that we should have laws treating all citizens the same, regardless of gender. Like that is feminism. And so I'm going to believe all of that because I want to get laid.
Yeah. I have known a few men in my life who were very clearly putting across beliefs they didn't really hold to gain access to spaces that had a larger percentage of women than men.
Mm-hmm.
And I've definitely had some guys talk up things that I didn't think they believed because they were trying to get into specifically my pants.
Right.
But one of the men I know who considers himself a feminist, lives in Florida, and I've never met him in person, so there's no percentage there. B, I am considerably older than he is, in a monogamous relationship with 2 children.
Mm-hmm.
And C, he's asexual. So, really no reason to pretend to be feminist to get into my pants. Because he doesn't want there and couldn't get there if he did.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's just a weird question to me. I don't, and again, I think it goes down to the fundamental premise of them not understanding what feminism is.
Which they don't.
Oh, like what man would what could possibly want to be a feminist? How could you possibly think that unless you were just trying to suck up to women? I don't.
It's not that hard. It's not
going there.
It doesn't make it. Turns out like it's just the fuck. Like there is clearly we all, our side and their side, just completely are not agreeing on what the fucking word feminist means. Like what it actually means. Like not a one sentence definition, but what it like actually means. Because
can someone just do according to Merriam-Webster's and we just have done with this?
Yeah, I know, and we have the definition posted.
It's deeper than like yeah. Even if you agree to like the Merriam-Webster definition, you're totally talking past each other.
No, I know.
And it's so frustrating because it's just not that fucking hard.
It's not difficult. It would be so easy for them to just listen to a woman, but they're never going to, because only people who won't listen to women will self-identify as an anti-feminist.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, I would love if they would put, the state that they live in. Like, I mean, which, I mean, is probably really close to doxing, but like,
man,
or even if it's just like, Tucker, feminist, blue state. Like,
yeah, I just assume Tucker lives here.
Right.
He's got a very Olympia vibe going to him. Kevin literally just goes to the Evergreen State College. It's fine.
Right, like, yeah. Totally.
All right, let's let him ride.
Posing as feminists to get into the pants of women.
And even on a more like micro level, so I was literally just watching a recent Jubilee video, and it was one about a man. He was a self-proclaimed pickup artist. And this is almost a direct quote of what he says.
Was it Andrew Tate? You were talking about Andrew Tate earlier, Maya, and I knew he'd come up.
Man, I keep coming on this channel. That's what's going to happen to me one of these days. I can see it from here.
Oh, they're advertising.
I like to think I'm a feminist. I f with feminism.
And I think it's kind of emblematic of there are men that
fuck with feminism. Yeah, spoken like a true feminist.
Sure.
Understand the full gravity of how people who are real feminists feel about the situation. And they kind of see it as like this, this cool, hot social issue. And if I talk about it, it puts me in the group of the good people. And I don't think it's always heinous, while there are people that are doing that. Some of it's just like such blatant ignorance that they lack the understanding.
Yeah, I think even the posing of the question is indicative of the truth of the matter, that I think a lot of the time it is that, because if you align yourself with a lot of the more traditionally toxic masculine traits and you're not viewed as on team woman, then you're not going to be in line with a lot of Western women in today's society.
What are your more traditional toxic traits? Because we can then talk about what's toxic about them.
Right.
And why are they being equated with being on team women? They seem like different questions. Like related, yes, but
yeah,
you're I don't know.
Yeah,
like a false dichotomy.
I go to these parties and they're like, "Oh yeah, fuck Andrew Tate." They all watch him, but they'll be like, "Oh fuck Andrew."
I've literally never watched Andrew Tate.
Never.
I've seen him talk. I've seen him talk, but I've never seen him talk on something he produced. The closest I would ever get to like watching Andrew Tate would be like an interview he does with like the mainstream media, And the mainstream media does not like Andrew Tate because he's a
No.
sex trafficker, you guys,
Right.
and a
Yeah.
rapist.
Which is bad.
I've seen a couple of clips on, reaction content. Not like we're watching the whole video, but like
exactly.
We're talking about this subject. Here's a clip of him, like an H bomber guy kind of. I'm going to play him for 2 minutes, and then I'm going to go on for 15 minutes about something else.
Like, if you don't find this guy toxic and not just like criminal, then we have bigger conversations to have than whatever you're ready to have in this little, circle jerk here, I guess.
Oh my God. And I don't know how to pronounce this. Tenebraification?
Tenebraification.
All right. For $7.25 says the mass accusation against male feminists feels like a projection or shame, much like an embarrassing number of chasers being anti-trans. You're not wrong.
Yeah.
Yep.
Andrew Tate just so they can get laid because they know that's how, a woman will feel like, oh, wow, they're listening to me, or, oh, wow, they agree with me, and feel a little more connected.
Yeah. And I think for me, as someone who believes genuinely.
You know who does that and actually does it to manipulate women into sleeping with him? Andrew fucking Tate! Jesus Christ!
In the fact that men and women are equal, but I don't go around parading myself as a feminist because the only thing that I can think that justifies being a
he may actually not be one though. Like just listening from the way he talks about women.
Actually not, but he still doesn't understand feminism.
Like
it's pretty misogynistic. I
like the guy, the gay guy,
third wave feminist, being a feminist.
He actually could be potentially, maybe. He's bad at it. Maya, you froze.
Today is you must just want to get laid because there's no reason to believe in all of these crazy things that go after your identity as a man, that seek to strip you of your masculinity, that perpetuate these terrible ideas that men are
masculinity.
I mean, you ever seen a John Wayne movie?
I just literally today transferred an article over to Media Magpies about a John Wayne movie.
Well, I'm happy to hear that, Pilgrim.
This guy stripping me of my masculinity. Okay, define your masculinity and let's talk about what you think feminism is stripping you of. Because I guarantee either it's literally actually toxic or I'm fine with you having it.
Are bad and evil and all of these things that you can't be a provider, you can't be a protector, all these things. I think that has to be the reason. Like
so,
you have
some
to
of us don't identify with. Me personally, I don't identify with masculinity. I might show masculinity, but like I don't think feminism is taking anything away from me.
But I think that's a societal problem.
We impact that.
I agree with him. I don't find personally like this is an issue that like it and I think it's one of the problem that some men can face. Like Tucker and myself here, maybe these guys, they don't understand enough about any of this to actually have this issue. I don't find the term masculinity to be particularly helpful because, like, earlier when I was trying to steel man it, like, I put in responsibility and then I had to bend over backwards to be like, well, that's not a strictly masculine trait, which is why I, like, don't find the term that helpful. But I think it is helpful probably on some cultural level for some, like, people. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, like, it's however you define what makes you male is your version of masculinity, and that's fine. The problem comes when your version of masculinity is harmful to others.
Yeah, exactly. And I find it can be difficult to articulate a definition of masculinity that is sort of stylistic or cosmetic that doesn't do that. Like if you identify as being the breadwinner, that's That's kind of fucked up because like anybody can be the breadwinner. You're not a failure as a person if you're a man and you're not the breadwinner.
Yeah.
And a woman isn't usurping your position if she is the breadwinner.
Like, my partner would be thrilled if my writing took off to the point where he didn't have to work anymore. That would make him so happy.
Yeah, because I mean, he probably just wants to zap things with giant magnifying glasses. Sorry, there's a specific channel on YouTube. This guy has a solar death ray. It's great.
He probably watches that channel.
Oh, and I don't see it up here, but Al Strecker has been a member for 10 months. Welcome back to the fold, Al. And please continue to enjoy your weasels, your Jedis, and vaginas.
Well, the fact that masculinity itself has become a dirty word is a problem.
I didn't say it's a dirty word. I'm saying it doesn't matter.
Why do you choose not to identify with it anymore?
Wait.
Even
because when you say it,
I don't. There's a lot of things I don't choose to identify with that I don't think are dirty words, bro.
Yeah,
nothing in my heart.
I don't identify as a Michelin-starred chef either. Something I'm not.
Feels anything. It's just a word. It's just a. Right. I don't think anything I do is because I'm a man. I think that it's because of who I am.
Yeah. Well,
let's hear it.
I think to your point, asking like, why would any man be a feminist? So I just think that we don't all view feminism the way you do. Similar to the way the Black Lives Matter movement has been moved.
I am fascinated to know where this will go.
Moved and changed and developed in terms of the way that people identify it. The things that you speak about when you talk about third wave feminism is not what I mean when I say that I am
I like how this guy, Quentin is just like eyeballing AJ right here.
And so, yeah, no, if you can't understand that me wanting to make the world a more equal and level playing field for my two daughters, for my wife, for my mother and my mother-in-law, and standing in front of people who want to take liberties away from them, that's the reason why I am a male feminist.
I want to give this man a hug.
Oh my God.
Well, you know what I heard from that was that he is a wife and therefore he's doing it to get laid.
Look out for all. Man.
It's a perpetuation of oppression that I'm trying to dismantle.
And for me, I think we're taking this from a very heteronormative perspective, right? All my friends aren't straight women. So I'm not gonna look at my non-binary or LGBTQ friends and be like, oh, just because I can't have sex with you, I'm not gonna fight for your rights. There is no personal gain for just saying that we should be there.
Two things can be true. I agree with you. And I think a lot of us agree on what we're talking about. It's just these labels are in the way of getting us to that.
It's also a blanket statement.
One thing to build on top of, too, is to an extent, leading men to want to take advantage of women is the very pressure put on by other men.
Yeah.
That if you're not sleeping around, if you're not getting laid, you aren't.
Wait a minute,
and that doesn't.
The chat's like, come back, suspended. What the fuck?
What?
Were we playing the thing for too long? They're saying that it's
we got dude, our stream got booted.
Okay. Yeah,
wow.
Oh, broadcast ended, yeah. Yeah, this is why I'm always saying don't let the things run for too long.
Don't you dare blame this on me.
I said nothing.
Stream suspended for policy violations.
I have to pee.
All right. Mm-hmm.
I mean, I think we're fair use here, but
he was letting that ride really long. Like, we never usually let it go for more than 10 seconds without, like...
Yeah, but... I've definitely seen longer stretches, but...
I don't know. I've never seen Jubilee ever take anything down, but
I don't know. I mean, I have feelings on the subject of copyright because the system's really screwed up, but
like, what do you think?
There's so many streamers out there that will just let things play and do whatever they want to do.
We were absolute, like, I will die on the hill that we were doing fair use this whole video.
I would say,
like,
no, there are some people who will let things play and just kind of wander around their house, and this was not that.
On YouTube?
Yeah.
And we even, like, we didn't do it in every scene, but we can even defend that we were actually critiquing the format of the thing that we were responding to, and not just the people, because, like, if it, like, the most stringent, like, successful copyright case against us would be that we're just playing the interview for the same purpose that they had the interview.
Yeah.
And that we weren't doing something novel with it. And to get over that, you have to critique the actual format of things. And we did. We mentioned, like, it's like the way that they have two different groups of people that are arguing with each other, that there's a woman moderator who's off screen the whole time.
Well,
like,
yeah, and I don't think that it wasn't. Yeah, I don't think that it wasn't. Yeah, I don't know that it wasn't like a novel use of.
Wait, are we back?
We are back.
That's what they're saying.
Or yeah, that's what Chad's saying.
All
but
right.
It's I actually I just wanted to get through that last little part, and then oh wait, Born Cube, have you been here for a while? Sorry, welcome. Glad I just want to say thank you to everybody that stuck with us through that whole time, because
I didn't expect it to end that way. I assumed we were done.
Well, that we were done. No, you remember when what do you call it? With when I wanted to on Christmas, when I was like, man, sometimes they just like take streams down. That's what I was afraid of that would happen on Christmas if we did that thing. And I'm like, I don't copyright. I don't know. We'll see what they say. But Jubilee, like, a lot of people do Jubilee responses, like a whole lot.
Well,
but
I mean,
I don't know. I'll see what they say. Right now, I'm not seeing. I'm looking at my analytics. I'm not seeing anything that says copyright or whatever. It's like
maybe it wasn't that. Maybe it was something else.
Saying restrictions. Like, no, it's literally saying restrictions none. I like refresh 10 times. I don't know what the problem is.
YouTube being YouTube, possibly.
They hate me, you know.
Well, you know, it's the intern. It's that one intern again.
Oh yeah, that intern that won't let you be that won't let you get what do you call
memberships on Dapper. Yeah.
Do you have one on
or
here?
Even let me appear on stream sometimes.
You do have one here currently. I think you got one.
I do. You gave me another one.
Oh, he did. I thought you got your own. I was just like, shit.
No. The only one I'm currently paying for is Top Hats Off. And that was because I got to be the second member of Top Hats Off after Bent, and that amused me.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, it was claiming there was a policy violation, but like when it's not telling me.
They probably reviewed it live and cleared it.
Yeah,
I'm sure that's exactly what happened on a Sunday night.
Yeah, 9:00 Pacific on a Sunday night. They absolutely reviewed it.
Grayson,
I don't.
Welcome to the stream. You're here just in time to see us to sign off. Gillian, who are you? Where are you? And what do you have coming up? Ever?
I am Gillian. I'm a pop culture writer mostly these days. I've got some stuff about the Constitution coming live on Vandalia's channel. You know, at some point, we're recording our way through the entire Constitution, amendments and all, and it's taking a while.
Yeah, I'm not getting Vandalia's. That's Vandalia 1996, right?
1998.
1998.
Yeah.
God damn it.
Yeah.
All right, and that, what do you call it? I'm not getting his notifications anymore. So
well,
maybe
I know that
That's probably because you subscribe to like 1,500 YouTube channels.
No, I get everybody else's.
Oh, I don't even pay attention anymore.
I've been recording when my kids are in school, so we kind of missed a couple of weeks there because of vacation. Yeah. But we just recorded about income tax, so the end is in sight for that series of records.
Okay.
I've got an article going live on Magpie's Wednesday about film history destroyed in the Eaton Fire, because there's a lot more of it than people realize, and subject near and dear to my heart. One of the pictures that I'm using to illustrate it is the wreckage of the auditorium of my junior high. So, mostly what's been happening for Gillian this week is a lot of trauma.
Ooh, I don't love hearing that.
Yeah, well, fire, it's like the ecosystem in LA County is designed to burn or something.
Thanks, John.
But I've also got, some funny Disney articles coming up in the near future, so we'll focus on that.
All right, cool beans. Doc, you got anything coming up?
I have a dentist appointment tomorrow morning. I will not be streaming it.
I'm sure your dentist is grateful.
I mean, I don't know. That'd probably be like, potentially not terrible advertising.
I'm sure somebody would watch it for ASMR.
I'm sure somebody would love to see that. But yeah, Gillian, we've got to have you come back on. I didn't even think about Deepak Chopra.
We'll definitely have to do Deepak Chopra one of these days.
Deepak. Dude, the guy invented quantum mysticism as we know it.
Man,
and that, he can go jump in a lake and play.
I live literally down the road from the What the Bleep Do We Know people.
Wow.
So, yeah.
Yeah, I didn't even think about Deepak. I'm all about it. It's right up our alley. Quantum mythicism? Wait, what is it called?
Nonsense.
I love deep fried okra. As do I. All right. So, thanks everybody who stuck with us through our politics stream. I wasn't sure we'd get a good turnout. We stay pretty consistent with 50 though. So thanks for letting us break your brain, and we're not going to do that again. I think we have DC. Is it DC next week?
DC is next week. Yep.
All right, and then I think
so we're gonna have to find some hot like bomb party related nonsense.
I don't know. I mean, we'll do MLM. I don't know if it's going to be bomb party because bomb party is pretty boring. No offense.
No, like, I don't understand how that exists. We should at least do like a short or something at the beginning.
Oh yeah, there's plenty of those. Yeah. But yeah, DC will be on next week, so we'll be doing. She's been doing a lot of talking about a lot of like just crazy fuckers that I don't know. I'm kind of looking into, and I'm like, all right, is this person crazy enough to be on Bad Science Sunday? Because it's got to be a crazy fucker. Mm-hmm. Can't just be your run of the mill fucker if we're gonna showcase them.
Yeah, more fun that way.
Got to keep the chat coming back. My promise is that you'll never get bored here.
That's certainly true.
All right, and then I think the week after that we have you hooligan, and then I'm trying to get my son to come on the week after that, so we'll see.
All right. I demand he come.
I will let him know. All right, everybody. Thanks for sticking with us through all this mess. Love you guys. See you next week.
Night.